Hello everyone, it's the Nameless one, and I am here today with Argo, Cameo, Petrol, Paige. We've also got Sim here, and Hax will be here in a little bit. He's watching a horse race with his family, apparently.
I am racing. I thought it'd be zebra race.
But we will be continuing the Lost Memories campaign. I want to remind everybody, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring the notification bell. Let us know what you think. For those of you in the live chat, feel free to talk to everybody, say hello. I will not be actively reading it or replying to it, but both players and some of my editors will be taking a look at that every so often, so you will not go unnoticed. I just won't be saying anything about it. So, also a bit of a heads up, our next video will be having some announcements. So, Tuesday, we're going to be making some changes, and I will be letting everybody know on that video. If you would go ahead and subscribe, you'll be notified for that. Also, overnight, apparently, we have hit over 3,000 subscribers and are almost to 4, so I want to say a big thank you for that. And I think that's all I have to say for now. From here, well, let's go ahead and go into the recap. Petrol.
Petro.
Petrol. That was your cue. Recap.
Recap. Yes. Remember, I wasn't here for a chunk of the session. The starting chunk. But,
Do I need to fill in for the
We
starting
literally
chunk?
told you that they opened a door, and that was about the extent of
yeah,
what you
true.
missed.
True. We we sort of managed to get Z back. Yay. After a interesting character introduction, we managed to get our zebra back, which was very nice.
We were introduced to Dealmaker.
Yeah, we had to make a deal with the devil, so to speak.
Well, I was the one that had to make the deal.
Yes, but there's no way that's not going to have repercussions to the rest of the party.
Actually, he told you before that was the most see-through deal he has ever made.
Oh, don't worry. There was enough talking. Don't worry, there was enough talking that I made sure it was as see-through as possible and we weren't going to have any negative repercussions.
Yes, your deal is something that has no negative repercussions on your party.
To our knowledge.
I did point out through the character that he does not lie.
I know.
Half-truths. So, if he directly tells you that thing is not going to happen because of me for this deal, then for that deal, nothing is going to directly happen to you.
But
anyway,
yes, now that we've got the anti-radiation stuff, we've got to head back through radiation zones because fun.
And we're also going to stop. Also, from the Dealmaker, we found out my mother is dead, father is still alive, and in the radiation zones that we have to head to. And then also, Galilu is alive and in the Zebra homelands. Farasian.
Yes, we're trying to make plans to head to the Zebra land. Trying.
We will
still
go
yet to
there
sort that out.
Don't know the extent of when or how, but we will make it there.
Yes, that is currently on the to-do list.
And then I think we headed back to those spawn cultists at some point, right?
I believe
that's where we ended up. We ended the last session outside of the spawn cultist camp.
I knew that we were going there. I didn't remember if we talked to them yet, though.
Our plan was to give them the information orb that has the scarecrow orb.
Oh yeah, that one.
Okay, and with that, we are going to go ahead and start from there. Before I start, though, I think there is going to be a little bit of travel that we will do, that just like a bunch of rolls to speed it along. There is a few things that you guys are going to run into along the way that I have planned. However, it took us like a month to get from where you are to
Where we are now.
where you're headed now, and
Yeah.
that's real world time. It was like a month and a half. So I figured,
Like 10, 20 sessions.
yeah, I figured we'd speed things along just a little bit.
We've done this adventure once. We don't need to do it in reverse.
There are a few different things that I have planned, but we'll see how that goes. So, what do?
We're ending up. So I know that we said that we ended up by the spawn cultists at some point. Are we going to continue having that conversation or something, or are we just skipping past that?
You guys are still outside of that. You haven't gotten through.
So I imagine that we'll probably go in, talk to them, see how they're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was a good idea.
Okay. So, as you guys are approaching, you need to roll perception.
Come on, I go past this roll.
We
all did the thing. We all passed the thing.
So, I also need Argo to roll just a general, like, intelligence roll at a -4.
Oh, that is... I do not pass.
Okay. Just so you're aware, that was to see if you can remember or, like, figure out what the actual times are right now, because you woke up sometime in the sometime and have been traveling for some time. If you see where my drift is.
Time has passed. We have no idea how much time has passed.
Yes, because you woke up at a time.
In a place.
Good luck figuring out what month it is, if they even keep track of that anymore.
Yeah.
I will say that from your time with the scarecrows, where I noted that it had been getting colder, it does seem to be warmer than it was then.
Okay.
Oh, interesting.
DM is taking a few liberties with the timeline, considering you guys can't figure it out.
Well, of course,
that
what have you done
means
for
we
that?
might be past March. Which is not something I'd actually realized yet. I'll realize it later. So, we're heading in to see these individuals.
More specific months.
Yeah, so somewhere around spring.
Yeah, that is for Camille, because Camille asked a question.
Yes, Cameo was
Yeah,
wanting
so
to know whether we were trying to figure out if it was morning time or seasons. I will say that the sun has risen at a somewhat morningish time today, so the
I mean, it's great if it does rise at morning, but for this world, who knows?
I mean, you
But-
have a pair of natural heavenly bodies that don't have a natural path, apparently, that require ushering in. So they kind of just do their own thing whenever they aren't being led.
It is very interesting. Also, I really want to thank those spawn cultists for this mask, because it is very cool. Very cool mask.
I would like to point out that it depends on what area you're in, how bad June is.
Yeah, June tends to be killer for only some areas. Again, Cameo asked a question, which others
August.
cannot hear.
August in Texas tends to be the hottest part of the year.
Yeah.
That sounds wild. I also don't even know what the Texas is.
Laughs in wet winters.
We
Or
should,
wet,
I will
Junes.
point out that the idea for how I am treating the environmental areas of Equestria is think the U.S. with Appaloosa being like Oklahoma.
Okay.
Because that entire statement means a lot to me.
Yeah, you're just SOL with that one, Petrol.
what they are talking about. What I do know is that we're in front of this mountain range, and we're trying to find a spawn cultist.
Oh, the Hax has poo-brained.
Clinker suddenly sprung to life.
Welcome.
Clinker, you're back.
Did you forget to change your settings again? Or is he muted?
He's
Yes.
not muted, so...
Yep, that was... microphone was still on the VR headset. I'm here now.
Yes, so
Good job.
we were just doing some explanations of weather changes. The current theory is that we are in spring to early summer.
Okay.
So, other than that, they're about to go talk to conspultists. Yes, I can spoonerize.
Conspultists.
The spawn cultists,
Yeah.
specifically the scarecrow ones.
So it is great flying weather.
It is? Well, that's nice.
So, you guys rolled perception. Who passed?
Do I get to roll
I think
perception?
everyone.
We all did.
Cameo
we all did.
passed. Petrol passed.
We all passed it.
Yep.
As I said, we all passed it.
Yeah,
So you guys see after a little bit of traveling, you spot one of the cultists. What do?
Hey, you, over there.
Hey, you, listen.
Hey!
Attempt to
Listen.
flag them down.
Yeah, we're trying to get the hold of them.
So the cultist looks at you for a moment before you see recognition flash across his face as he waves you over. And it is a male unicorn with jet black fur, hair, whatever, coat.
Hax, I think you're echoing.
Am I?
Hello there.
Oh, it looks like it.
He says, "Hello, you guys saved my life last time you were here."
How long ago was it that we were even here? It feels like it's been a while.
It's
only been like 3 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's only been a few days.
Has it only really been 3 days?
Yes, this,
I think it was like half a day's travel to the Unicorn City. And then we spent like 2 days there, and then another half a day's travel. Oh, so about 3 days.
Mhm.
Oh. Well, it's kind of hard to keep track of time when you know the objects in the sky.
The objects in the sky don't work.
Yeah.
Don't worry, Cameo. That is new character to you guys. You guys actually haven't met him before.
Yeah.
Yep, we supposedly saved his life, but none of us remember.
The Minotaur.
Yes,
Ooh.
we Vigil shot a
Oh,
minotaur
yeah.
that was killing people.
Yes,
So
And
but
thus
yeah,
life-saving.
I want to ask him if he could lead us to of no importance.
Yes. The bone dragon, another one.
He
Or that griffin. The griffin was really nice too.
he looks visibly confused as you guys mention the name that you have given the dragon.
He said his name was of no importance.
He did. It is true.
He,
But I assume that he probably has another name that you would know them by. Big, black, kind of scary looking bone dragon, kind of hard to miss.
Wait, are bones black? I thought bones were white.
The bones were black.
I don't know if that's a normal condition.
He said it was because of the ever-burning pits.
I wanna point out that you're talking about a skeletal dragon. What about that condition is normal?
Not the black bone part.
Didn't it have glowing red eyes too? I feel like it had glowing red eyes.
It does now.
Anyways, back to the talking to this unicorn who's visibly confused.
So yeah, there's a giant bone dragon who called himself of no importance. Can we go see him?
You know your boss and all that?
He chuckles and says, "One, he's not the boss.
I didn't think so. The boss would be the one in the chair.
Two, his name is not of no importance.
That's what he told us.
It's Snort.
That is so much worse than of no importance.
Why do you think he
Of
didn't
no
tell you?
I think we shall continue calling him of no importance.
He shrugs and says, "Just don't do it to his face because somebody tried that once and it didn't end well."
Wait, calling him Snort or calling him of no importance?
Yes.
Because I'm pretty sure one of us called him of no importance to his face, and he didn't seem to get mad. Or, well, he was slightly upset, but he didn't, like, kill us or anything.
He may have been being patient. The unicorn gives a shrug. It's like, that one's got a lot of mood swings.
To be fair, he seems to be of a lot of importance. Should we call him of much importance?
The unicorn chuckles and says, "I believe that would be stroking his ego, so he would be fine with that one."
It's better to be at his good side than his bad side.
And
Probably.
he lets out a low whistle, and a crow, spell-spawn crow specifically, lands on his shoulder, and he jerks his head in the direction of the pass and says, "Follow me."
Follows behind.
That was kinda cool. Not even gonna lie. The calling of a bird just with a whistle? I'm whispering this as we are moving along.
So,
I mean, yeah, I guess we might as well follow.
I think we're all following.
give me just a sec. Okay. As you were whispering, the unicorn kind of looks back over his unoccupied shoulder and says, "That's one of the perks of being a spawn cultist."
Being able to call over birds like that? Or specifically the crows, I think you got them?
Yes. We follow the scarecrows for what we're after, and this is just one of the perks that come along with it. Of course, and he kind of grimaces, it also has its downsides.
Following scarecrows has its downsides. Never would have guessed.
Following stars has its downsides.
The only downside I see is using a lot of ammunition.
He shrugs and says, each and every one of the old world spell spawn have picked up their own cult, whether they like it or not, or are even aware of it in some cases. The cult of the hunter is one of the biggest.
Oh, was that the thing I tried to fight?
Yes, Nissa.
At this, the unicorn stops and looks at you and says, You went toe-to-toe with the hunter.
Not really. We
I
ran.
wanted to.
Well, she tried to. Yes, she did in fact try to get herself killed. But we got her to run before she managed to do that.
No, we didn't get ahead of her. We fucking picked her up and gated her with us.
Oh, yeah.
Because she refused to run.
I mean,
I had to grab her and fly.
that's one way to get someone to run.
She wasn't doing much running. It was more like flailing whilst I'm launching forward with her in the air.
Well, she was out of the area.
I'm pretty sure I just sat on a cloud for all of that.
Yeah, you did.
And then the rest of us either ran or hid.
So,
Did you not Windows?
he finishes guiding you guys back into their little base, and then you find both Snort and what's his name? I never gave the Elder a name. Now I think about it.
Griffin? Hold on, do you mean the
Nice.
Griffin or someone else?
The Erinthian.
The Irinthian, yeah.
Oh, the Arinthian.
Yes, the one that had one limb left to his name. Yes. As you can see, I am so good at remembering whether or not I give characters names.
At least you remember there are characters.
Sometimes we forget that.
Yeah.
So,
But fortunately, I don't think that so far any of us have forgotten our characters' names.
I think it is impossible for me to forget.
I've done that before.
The dragon looks at you guys and grins and says, "Welcome back."
Well, he figured out we had something of interest for y'all.
And it was not something that we particularly wanted to keep.
He
We wish to offer this to you.
he shifts around and says, "And what would that be?"
Nissa, do you want to leave the room?
Yes, you may inform them why after I am gone.
Okay.
So Nassau steps out of.
As I pull out the memory stone and activate it.
So, for those of you that have seen it already, because I don't remember if there was anybody that was not present for it last time.
We were all present.
Go ahead and roll perception.
That is a pass by 4.
Huh.
Also, Moop, was there fire with that last sneeze? Because I assume that the roll that you did there was another sneeze.
Also, we all passed a perception.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, with the area that you are in now, it seems to fully fit everything in, and from where you are standing, rather than just activate as usual, it actually levitates itself to the center of the room. And after several minutes of sparking and magically, and like, it eventually like basically transforms the room into that past moment as you see the replay of everything going on. You also note that there are more unicorns in the room that you hadn't seen before, because, you know, they were outside of the confines of the shop.
I'm looking at each of the unicorns.
So you do recognize a couple of them as people that you had gone to school with, but other than that, you don't really recognize the majority.
Okay.
Although there is one that you're pretty sure you saw it on some paper somewhere.
Alright.
I will also note that the image within the orb has gotten a lot crisper and easier to see, and the individual that you had seen with Nassau's father, the unicorn that I mentioned that you guys didn't recognize, has come out a lot clearer. And go ahead, for all of my cryotubers that are in there that are equestrian, roll a intelligence check.
Nope.
Wait, that doesn't pass your intelligence page?
My intelligence is 13.
Ah, okay.
My roll doesn't pass that.
God damn it, Petrol!
So something seems
Mine's a 10.
a bit weird about his appearance, but you can't place your thumb, or lack thereof, on it. So, what do now?
Had there have been any positive modifiers to it, I would have passed that. Any.
Same.
Yeah, we're both one. We both failed by one. Like, come on.
Guys, that would have been a really important pass.
It would have.
Cameo, if you would like to
Oh.
try, you can do it at a -3.
You were saying?
Okay. Well,
Okay, apparently you have been to Saddle Arabia. Because you recognize the strange unicorn as a Saddle Arabian unicorn.
and I'll just make the comment. That was a critical success.
Hold on.
Oh, that's hilarious.
That's not what I was looking for.
Oh, that was great.
Yeah?
No, I never realized that guy was a Saddle Arabian before.
But on top of that, you also recognize, because for some reason you know the hierarchical structure there, that he was someone of importance back in the day.
I probably know the hierarchical structure only because someone was ranting, and I couldn't fly away from it.
I mean, you have no wings, so yeah, you couldn't fly away from it.
Yeah, I just had to sit there and listen.
Real
But-
quick, you guys all see me furiously flipping through the book, and then just nope, no page on Saddle Arabia. I know basically nothing of this place.
Arabia is an old tiny place from way back when.
I will also note that from your sudden knowledge of Saddle Arabia, you also know that he was actually pretty high up on the totem pole. He wasn't just some low-level noble. Like, he was, like, in the High Council of whatever. I will work on building up a structure for that later. But High Council of something.
I take it Nameless was not prepared for a crit success on this particular check.
I am not going to say yes or no.
So in other words, you're not prepared for it. Okay. Yeah.
So, what do now? Scene plays out basically the same with more details. You do see a couple more earth ponies being pulled into the room as it shuts off.
And you can see why we thought this would have been of interest to y'all, right?
Both the Arinthian and the dragon seem very speechless at the moment as they look at the orb, which plops down on the ground like nothing ever happened, just sitting there in the middle of the floor.
As said before, we're willing to give it to you.
For the first time since you had gotten there, the Arinthian speaks, and you realize the reason why he hasn't said anything this entire time, as he hits a pitch that seems impossibly high for how old and how battered he looks.
All right, Nameless, let's hear it.
I cannot do it. Sorry. But he says that...
All right, Hacks, let's do it. Go on, Hacks. Hacks is the only one who can go that high.
But
Fuck no, I ain't doing that right now.
he
says I was trying to sound as low as possible.
He says that he is incredibly interested and will have to study it further so that he may further understand the scarecrows. And roll another perception check, everyone.
So that passes by 2.
Pass by
pass.
5.
We all pass.
So you guys notice that you didn't notice it before because of how dark the room had been, but none of his legs, or fake arm, they have joints per se, but seem to bend. The metal seems to bend naturally, as if it was its own joint.
So,
Metal
so the
doesn't
entire,
do that.
so the entire freaking hologram.
He has
thing
golem
is-
legs.
The entire hologram thing is shut off. So I go out to retrieve Nassar.
So... Has the Nassar been received?
Yes.
So everything's all good. It's over. You can come in now.
And you informed them why,
We
right?
have not. There's a reason why we don't want to keep the orb. Outside
That
of
zebra was the father of our zebra.
Yes, his name is Rosso.
They both look at each other, then look at you lot, and then at each other, then at the orb. And it the whole... The fuck are you saying? And
Yeah, it's complicated.
the dragon slowly kind of leans forward and says to Moop, "How old are you?"
Question, what month is it?
Is there a specific reason you're asking that?
How long has it been since the cat or whatever caused the radiation pockets, the spell spawn?
They come from
that's
the
been
old
a couple-
world.
That's been a couple hundred years. If I'm correct, that's 800 years, and then I myself am more than that, but I was asleep for the 800-ish. I don't know the exact number. Why?
He scratches his chin with a bony claw before leaning back and saying, "You lot are an oddity."
Oh, we are well aware.
Do you know what month
Oh,
it is?
believe me, I know that better than any creature else.
The
I'm not surprised.
The dragon shrugs at Nassau's question and says, all I know is that the storms will be moving in soon.
I think my birthday's
Storms?
coming up soon.
For Clinker, roll a area knowledge.
Storm season.
Passes by 3.
Yes, the storms. Storms equal lots of pain.
That's
Any-
typically the way storms
any-
go.
Specifics that you maybe want to share?
It depends on the storm and the area.
Yeah.
To you,
Storm-
though,
Are not a good thing.
I want to point out, to you, though, they are a natural phenomenon, so nothing really of note.
Mm.
It's not a huge, like, oh, yes, the world will end. It is, yes, you just don't go outside.
Yeah, it's the storms. You don't want to be caught in them, but
So you guys just have your own natural storm seasons. How intense do they get?
So I would also like to point out, you don't really have a measure on what she means by intensity.
yeah. I assume that question would be directed at the spawn cultists who actually live around here, as opposed to me, the one who's used to living in a rather different area.
I imagine
Yeah,
it'd be a lot
it
more
was
like
directed
them on
towards
stones.
them.
The dragon shrugs and says, it's no worse than it ever has been.
Mm,
And then he points at himself and says, not that it's ever bothered me.
that makes
I
sense.
can't imagine why. Unless it was, say, acid rain.
He shakes his head and, one moment.
It was
Checking
being
something English.
shaken.
No, not there.
In this setting, acid rain would be unlikely. However, radioactive rain would not be.
Ah, here we go. Should be... No.
The
that's
magical
not it.
rain would be more likely still.
Ah, I was wrong. He said, no, that's more of a thing you see in the West.
You mean like Western Equestria? Do you mean like the Parisian shores? Like, there are plenty of different things that could mean west.
Nameless, you realize that we are quite west, right? We're still not far away from Vancouver. We are
No, I
very...
really- Did I just say one thing and mean another? I feel like I just said
I
one
think
thing
you
and-
meant east. East would
Oh, you
be
meant
the coast
east.
that I live on. East would
Yes,
be the
east.
way of... Oy.
Yes.
East?
See, I
I
can
thought
cup
you
it
said
sometimes.
west.
It's sad
You know
that
which way
Stupidity
north
being
and
a
south
thing.
are, right?
It's sad that Nameless was in the military for so many years and still can't even read a compass.
I
Wait,
wanna
actually,
point
hold on.
out
I can mimic the voice.
that none of us were good at
I thought
Land
you
math.
said west.
I had to.
But yeah, so he says that it's more something to the east.
Okay, well, good to see that we have the recurring bloopers theme of DM forgets directions.
I'm sorry, I don't normally go telling people to go east, west, north, south. North and south are easy. That's up and down on the map. I can't ever remember which one left and right is.
Right.
Shut up.
Okay,
Yeah,
well, okay, Nameless, you know where I live, right? Yeah, that way's east.
Yeah, I don't know where you live. But let's keep going.
I'm on the west side of the country. That's as far left as you can get.
Yeah, I'm pretty dang far right
Anyways,
in the country.
Shush.
let's go back into the game and stop this diatribe.
Oh, shit! I think Moop just sneezed a lot of fire.
If Moop sneezed fire, I back up. Away from the fire. Oh, never mind. Moop is just in pain.
That's fine then.
Okay,
It's-
just
I mean,
letting
it's not
you
fine,
guys
but-
know the way I do this is that if I'm 14 or under, there is fire. The closer I am to 14, the less fire there is. However, anything above a 14 is me getting in pain from other stuff from the fucking molts.
Ah, okay.
Wait,
Yeah.
you multi?
Yeah, are you just now figuring that out?
We established this a long time ago.
In character, I don't know. Because
We
I don't
established
know
this in
what
character
molts
quite a
are.
while ago.
We established this in
I
character
would have
quite a
believed
while
that she
ago.
was
Was I
talking out
there?
of character.
Huh?
No, out of character. I knew.
I'm
Right.
so
We are
confused.
going to continue with the forward movement.
Sorry.
Are you guys done talking to the spawn cultists? Because if so,
Actually,
we
I'm
are going...
curious. Do they have anything interesting to say about Rosso?
No, not really. Unless you can replicate his experiments. They really don't know anything about him or really care much.
I mean, you have the book, but I would really not give it. I don't want to see them attempting to replicate necromantic experiments. The world does
As
not
a-
need more scarecrows in it.
This is to the dragon. Anything for the burning and itching? Because, this dirt isn't working as well.
He chuckles and says, you could go take a dip in the ever-burning pits. It works pretty well for the itching. The burning, however, kind of hurts. And he gestures at his lack of anything resembling flesh.
Well, as said before, we've already made a dip in there before.
He shakes
Quoted
his
to
head
them,
and
it just made them
says,
sad.
I still don't believe that you have actually been there.
We have, but it's gonna be a while.
At this point, I've given up questioning things they've said, because it seems like every time they say something, it always turns out to be true. So I just have a policy of not questioning life anymore.
Look, out of character, I know if I was there for that session, I would have had the scar to prove it. Because I would not have made it out unscathed.
No, you wouldn't have. You would have done something with Luna.
Hence what I mean, I would have had the scar to prove it.
And a scar either would be from Shadowfire or more likely actually Moop.
No, there's a high likelihood that would have come from slashing.
No, in other words, he would have had 5 scars, 1 from each party member.
You want to know how I get these
Well, what a
scars?
tally mark.
Now, anything else you want to ask the cultists before you head out?
Not that I can think of.
Actually.
Actually, I know nothing about Southern Arabia. Do they know anything about Southern Arabia? Since that apparently came up.
They also know nothing about Saddle Arabia. Most of them have never left the mountain for more than a few days.
So, given that you guys seem to have clearly spare bone masks, do you guys have any actual headgear that can protect me?
They
That
look
I can
at
use?
each other and start digging around, and you get what looks like a hammered out tin pot.
It's still better than
Like
nothing.
the Iron Man Mark 1 helmet.
I was gonna say, I mean, it's something, it'll do. Thanks.
It is
I guess.
+1 to your damage reduction if you can find something that does that.
Okay.
I actually think there is a pot as one of the armor options, if I'm not wrong.
I would be very amused if that is so. If not, just make a note.
Yeah. I'll look through.
Anybody else have anything?
Do you have any cool stuff that you can give us? I remember this mask that's really cool, which I still really appreciate. But I was wondering if you could help us out with maybe supplies or, I don't know, some knickknacks.
Yeah, the bronze pot helm.
Oh, I just saw that.
They set you up with 3 days of extra rations, varying from different types of food, both carnivore related and vegetarian. Other than that is it.
I know this isn't much, but I wanted to give you one of these anyway. Here, gem for you.
The dragon takes it and regards it, and, lack of facial expression, you can't really tell what he's thinking. If you don't have a face to make an expression with, then it's kind of hard to tell what someone is thinking.
I smile and nod.
Anything else?
Not that I am aware.
Okay.
That's all I can think of.
So, you guys are led outside, and the travel begins once again. Everybody roll a perception, with Nassau rolling her extra for survival.
Pass.
1 sec.
Wow, I passed on the nose.
I pass. By 5.
Oh, that is not a roll. I almost Alright, that is for my survival. And then this is for my perception.
Haha.
I think both pass.
You rolled the
Actually-
same thing twice.
Yes.
Well, that's
Hey, actually. Hold on. Actually, I got a crit success for my survival.
Holy shit, 6 is your crit.
Yes,
So-
for survival.
You are actually you've managed to cram in 2 days of travel into 1 day.
Nice.
So
Oh.
you are now on the other side of the druid's forest. It is now nighttime. So, we are also going to move along the rolls for
The knights.
yes, we're gonna squeeze those up, and with the crit success for her survival, she found a shorter way for you guys to get through. That is, it's not so much moving faster as more efficient route.
More efficient speed, more so than if literal faster speed.
But,
shorter path, not different speed.
for the you guys need to decide what pairings are doing, or if you're doing single watches, which
I do first shift.
okay, are you guys doing pairings or single watches?
I will go ahead and do first shift with Nissa.
I guess we're doing pairing.
The pairings. I will do second shift.
So,
Yes. By the way, you need to remember to tell me how many days go by, because I'm also trying to keep track of rations still. We have nearly 2 weeks of rations.
I want to point out that I am doing this day by day.
Okay,
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure.
So there's going to be a series of rolls until a thing happens, and then you go back to rolling until you get to where you're going.
Oh, in that case...
Or if
can
we
try
manage to crit fail.
In that case,
Yes,
can we
crit
try
fail
to...
always causes interesting stuff.
yeah, Paige.
Could we also try to get some more food? Because that would be kind of nice, considering we can actually make the vegetable rations last a lot
I
longer.
want to point out you're already carrying 2 weeks of food. So no, you
Once
cannot
we get
carry
below
more
once we
food.
get below a week, then we should think about going hunting.
Alright, fine.
But carrying around 2 weeks of food, remember they're still perishable.
Well, to be fair, it's 11 days of food.
Yeah, but once we dip below 7, that's when we should check things out, see what we can
Okay.
hunt.
Alright.
So, who is second watch?
I have a second watch with
Yeah,
the
so is
sticks.
Okay.
Hang on a second.
So both of you need to roll.
I think...
We rolled when you said
Yeah,
that stuff.
and we both passed.
Okay. And then who's third watch?
And
Oh.
then Moop also rolled. I think.
Now move.
No, Moop now just rolled.
Okay.
Okay.
So, for everybody, we're going to do perception roll again. And another survival
Perception?
roll.
Alright.
I passed by 3.
Then pass by 2.
So what I'm saying is we all pass.
Pass.
Yep.
Don't forget your perception, Nasa.
I know. I pass.
Okay. So, as you guys are traveling, you start seeing, coming over the mountains, a fairly intimidating storm bank.
Oh, that'll be the storm.
As of right now, it doesn't seem like it's close enough to be a threat, but it is something that you should keep in mind.
Does it look controllable?
You
If it
need
was,
to
you're just
roll
one
intelligence for that.
Also, are we nearing the first radiation zone? Because I remember that I wanted to stop near Mrs. Butty.
You are nowhere near it. You're not even close to Camelot yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nameless, would I have any would I have any pluses to that because, well, Pegasus?
Nope.
No, if I were to,
Well,
to attempt
that's a
it,
fail.
Yeah, I'm
You're
gonna
literally
roll this.
You
Just
know
like a-
that the clouds, they are made of clouds.
I thought
Yeah.
clouds
I'm rolling the same thing
Controllable,
because I'm pretty sure they're not.
Roll at a -2.
That still passes at a -2.
Haha, fuck you. You really didn't want us to pass that.
Also, I think Moop tried to ask something.
It's pretty obvious that they're not going to be
Shut up.
controllable.
What were you saying, Moop?
it wasn't a question. I was saying even if it was controllable, it would literally be too much for 1 or 2 Pegasus to deal with. Even with the unicorn joining in, if it's a big storm, y'all won't be able to do jack shit with it.
We would need an entire team.
So, due to your not doing any actual, like, weather-related shit, mostly just parroting what you see Petrol doing when it comes to that kind of thing, because, you know, you're a Tech Knight working clockwork stuff. You don't do the magic portion of your, like,
Your
races, thing. You know what I mean. But,
Yes.
You've seen New Cloudsdale attempting to deal with weather, and you know that these storms are storms that they never deal with. Or at least not that you've seen.
Yeah. So Vigil, New Cloudsdale, those Pegasi do still try to control the weather, but I've never seen them go near one of these. I would say attempting to control it would be foolhardy and probably suicide.
Yeah. All I was thinking was that if it is possible to be controlled, it in theory won't be too bad for us. But if it is uncontrollable, then we're at risk of everything.
Long and short of it is, we don't want to be outside when we get to it, or when it gets to us. We want to find shelter.
I
shelter
can
could be
make a
useful.
stone shelter pretty easily.
I think you can make a copper shelter if you really wanted to.
Yes, make a
Iron
copper
would be
shelter.
better.
Make it out of just pure iron.
Iron would be better.
So,
Wouldn't we want
make it
something
thick enough so-
non-conductive?
Actually, if anything conductive is good, in a way, as long as we aren't touching the walls.
Would we
Any
understand the
electricity will
concept
go
of a
around
Faraday cage, Nameless?
You're literally talking about. Okay. Hacks, think about your question carefully.
I am going to say both of you need to shut the hell up. Before this gets too far off the rails.
That's fair enough.
Hacks, I feel like you answered your own question simply by asking it. Just
I feel like
saying
I
it out loud.
could
Just
make a
no.
decent shelter.
Okay.
They had the resources.
What is that supposed to be, petrol?
Do our characters in this world know what the fuck a Faraday cage is, Hax?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I was just asking if we would understand the concept of avoid getting struck by lightning by building metal cage around that conducts lightning away from you.
Hacks.
As said before, we should just drop this topic.
Okay,
It would
shutting
be
up now.
really cool to
Everybody
see if we could find
Roll
shelter stuff.
your in the same order. Roll your night shifts.
Night shift.
Pass.
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 Yes.
Okay. So new day. Storm.
Oh, yeah, by the
clouds
way,
are-
should we be getting like health points back? That's
physician
important to me.
rolls.
Yes, you would need to do health rolls and physician rolls for that.
All right. So yeah, I think
That's
we're like
past the health
3
check.
now. So
No,
that
it's
is
been
a
2.
fail. And
Moop, did you pass the physician?
then that was a pass.
Okay.
Okay.
So.
All right. So do I
it's
get back 3 or?
2 days. It would be per night
One more
that you
health
do
check.
the
Yeah, I
health rolls.
And that one
Yes.
is another
I
pass.
rolled 2. I passed 1, and then. So do I only
rolled
get
2
1
and I
back
passed.
per day? Did I
Well,
pass?
So you got
You get
3 in
one
total.
per day that you passed, and one for each
For a
day that
physician-
Moop passes
physician.
for her physician.
Which was
Right.
both days.
So you ended up with 3 points.
I'm coming back. Slowly but surely.
I'm not gonna say anything.
Oh God! You
I
just
think we'll-
made it. You made everything so much worse by just keeping your mouth shut. We wouldn't have been worried. Now we're all worried.
By
I have no
saying
idea
that
what
you're keeping your
talking
mouth
about.
shut makes it worse.
Yes.
No idea what you're talking about.
So I need another round
Fantastic.
of perceptions for the day and survival for the travel.
Good
That's a
job,
fail.
Petrol. Good fucking job.
I have no
Good
idea.
job,
Oh,
what you're
God!
talking about.
Me too.
Good job, Hax.
I don't think that's a crit because I have a 13. but-
Survival, I pass.
Cameo, by chance is... No, that wouldn't be a crit.
I pass perception.
It's a good thing we have some people in this party that can actually pass a perception
Chart is
roll.
in the pinned messages.
Yeah, there's no way 6 is being a crit.
I think if you have like an 18, it might be, but...
You need 16 plus. For perception, 16 plus.
Well,
As your
it's-
stat.
Yeah.
That's not happening.
So, as you guys are traveling, you start seeing that the storm cloud has moved over the mountains, and you can no longer see said mountains. It does look a bit strange from where you're at, but for everybody that failed, nothing is out of the ordinary. So, Paige, Hax, and Petrol, everything seems perfectly fine.
Yeah, it's just a storm cloud.
Well, I mean, it's an intimidating storm, but it's no different from the normal storms that we
I
see.
think it's rolling in a bit.
We just want to be out of it when it gets to us.
Give me just a sec.
Wait, so you're saying we should be poo brain when it happens?
Actually, you know, with the way that poo brains seem to almost uncannily avoid danger, no matter where they go or what happens, it probably wouldn't be a bad idea if we could do it intentionally.
It's just a casual superpower.
Hax opens mouth, inserts hoof.
Wait, what?
No idea what's going on.
In other words, shut up, Hax.
So, apparently Hax wants to start keeping track of all of the Pooh Brain party members as I indiscriminately attack all of them whenever you guys get into combat.
That is a terrible idea.
Because, Hax,
Yes,
what
the
you
one with
want
combat
to...
paralysis.
Hacks, what you were describing is literally just abusing the system.
Ooh,
Don't
those
say things like
clouds
that.
do not look good.
So, go ahead and roll night shifts.
Pass.
I don't pass for night shift.
I pass.
Petrol.
I pass.
Boop.
She literally just rolled.
Fail.
I was going to say
That's
that,
what I was
that
asking
emoji
about.
tells us everything.
Yep.
Unfortunate.
So, as far as you guys can tell, nothing happened over the night.
That sounds
Blame the
concerning.
itchiness and the burning. I could not pay attention.
I'll roll my health check. I do not pass. Do you pass a
Why?
physician check by any chance? You do.
Yes, I
Yay.
passed the decision check.
Right.
As far as I'm aware, crits do not mean anything for a physician check.
Can 7 become a crit?
It
Uh,
can
not
do, I
enough.
think, eventually.
If I remember correctly, it has to be a ridiculously high.
Yeah, crit 16,
like
20
a-
to 24.
Oh, well, yep, that would do it.
That sounds ridiculous.
Yep. So. Now that you guys have rolled all of your checks that you needed to roll, we're going to make you roll again for perception and survival.
Boy,
On
I
the road
cannot
again.
wait.
I see things.
I see things very well.
Hey, guess who crit again? For survival.
Okay? You guys are now parallel with the Canterlot barrier. Or not parallel. Directly in line with. We'll go with
Perpendicular.
perpendicular. There we go. It's close enough.
Also, I see things.
So, how far away are those storm clouds?
The storm clouds are now in an easily visible distance that you notice that the cloud doesn't stop in the sky, it touches the ground.
Ah,
Would I
Roll-
recognize that as being normal?
Roll an intelligence check. At a -4.
That is a hard fail.
I want to
You're
roll
not
to
from
see
here. You don't
if
know
it,
if their storms are different.
I want to
Got it.
see if it's anything like our monsoons that we used to get over in the Superlands. Would I be able to roll?
Roll intelligence at a -5.
Damn! If I didn't have the minus, I would pass. I fail.
Yes. This is not your homeland. You do not know.
Unfortunate.
It is a strange weather phenomenon to you.
Well, please be careful.
Hey, Slashing, what likelihood would you say there would be that we could get the Canterlot Guardian to let us back in?
slim to none.
Because that shield and those clouds, that shield looks really nice right now.
I don't disagree.
As if to punctuate your point, there is a massive crack of thunder that you can feel in the ground.
Ooh.
I think this is a bit stronger than our monsoons. Is monsoon
Sounds
even the right
stupid,
word?
but maybe we should just start digging.
Of course, the dragon would suggest digging, but I mean, it's not a bad idea.
Well, I'll make the comment. If there's rain encompassing this, it could flood the base or the place that we make as our camp.
Oh, that's actually true.
Yeah. But... Well, shit, we gotta do something.
I could make a stone structure for our camp for the storm to pass over.
I mean, that would
I
be
guess
useful.
that'll be fine.
I think we can probably make it another day, maybe 2 before it reaches.
So, are you guys going to put up camp now?
Might as
Probably.
well.
So,
And our
to
watch.
give you an idea, if Nasa can roll survival for me
Oh,
at a -2.
roll survival at -2.
Yes, I remembered that the slideshow needed to be switched over.
I pass.
Okay, so from as best as you can guess, you're about 2/3 of the way there. So you're getting close.
This is actually not that bad.
But it's still worth setting up a camp anyway. Something
2/3 of the way
protective.
there is not a we can just do it tonight kind of distance.
No, still a good couple of days.
Considering it took you weeks. Actually, I think it took you basically a literal month to get from the radiation zone to the other side of Equestria. If you throw in the, I think 3 weeks of. Well, it took you over a month then if you calculate that in, so. Probably a month and a half, almost 2 months to get from one side of Equestria to the other.
Yeah, sounds about right.
So, but you guys are making good time because, less in between. Now, everybody roll their perception checks for the watch.
Night watch.
I did roll my perception check earlier. It was a 13. Unless you want me to reroll.
This is for the night watch.
Yeah, that's okay. That was supposed to be for the night watch, but I'll reroll. Pass.
Okay. Just let me know if anybody fails.
I pass.
For a second, I was the 14. I'm like, please tell me that's a pass page. If that's suddenly a fail, you're like, yeah, I got a 7.
Okay. And Hacks, roll a health check.
Oh yeah, I need to roll a health check too.
Actually, no, it'd be a will check.
I need to roll health.
No.
Oh, I do not pass my health check.
Alright, for Will, that passes.
Yes, so you are able to snap yourself out of it after your watch was supposed to happen.
Hey, Moop.
I love how
Did
Nasa
you
just
roll position?
didn't notice that I was stood stock still, not moving since the Thundercracken
Yeah.
wasn't doing anything during watch.
You were the party's
Oh, I
fainting
didn't
goat.
notice.
I kind of want to just throw a bunch of phobias into your character sheet just because.
It would be reasonable,
You'd still
but it
need
would
a
also
force
give me
tracking.
more points.
It depends
Because
on how the DM does it.
Disadvantages.
Because the DM can say it doesn't give you points. You just
fair
picked
enough.
it up.
Yeah, I don't have a phobia, but I have a restricted diet, so
I think he actually legitimately has coitophobia in his sheet already, along with
Yeah.
combat paralysis.
I do have. Is it called coitophobia? Yes.
Yes, so he and Petrol will not get along if Petrol actually ever scores and quits going after things that are definitely not interested in him.
like literal alcohol equivalents and just God essentially.
And would have been literal alicorn if you were actually there that session.
I hate the fact that I have to ask this question, but are you bi?
We
I think
actually
we already
already asked
established
this
yes.
question, and yes,
I-
he is.
No,
That's
I know.
that's
I
exactly
was
what Pete is
quoting you.
referencing.
I
Oh,
was quoting you.
oh yeah.
That was great. Oh, that was great.
Remember, I've been here for every session.
That is true.
Mm.
So,
Oh, Moop has a thing. Oh, combat reflex. Oh, I
Yeah.
have those too.
that prevents you from doing things like freezing up during combat. You don't have to make any kind of extra saves during combat, and you can react faster.
Yes, I got that too.
I have to make explicit saves to not freeze up.
Yes, he is the party fainting goat. You say boo too loud, he falls over.
Wait, didn't
Didn't
I
we act-
literally do that?
You literally did that, yes. So,
I feel like you can intentionally scare him to make him easy to move. It's like now it's difficult. Just like pick him up and walk along.
so next
this
is
image
the
amuses
round
me.
of perception checks and the
In my
survival check.
survival.
That's passed.
Pass.
Pass. 876.
Guess who crit again?
Okay.
Oh, Cameo, you ruined it. 8769.
What, did you expect Cameo to roll a 5?
That
I
would be
hope
funny.
for it.
It would have been amusing, but no.
It would have been, but unlikely.
In that best perception, by the way.
Yeah, but hacks, because there's the chance of an 876 anyway. It's already ridiculously unlikely.
So, as you guys are traveling, you quickly. This is where I remember my phone was not silenced.
Congratulations.
That
Alright,
scared
good
the
job.
crap out of me.
Good job, you just made another blooper, Nameless.
Well, it's good to note this fun has been doubled.
Also, we just hit a week of Russian.
Very good week.
Yes, I have been keeping track.
So, as
why
you guys are
Did a
traveling,
thing.
you realize that that storm cloud that you were kind of trying to get away from is right there. As in, either you run for cover or you're in the middle of the storm.
Well, so we make cover like right now and hunker down.
Attempt to make magical cover.
How many hours does it take you to shape Earth and Earth to
Roll that
stone?
with a -4.
The shapers.
Nameless really wants us to get caught in the storm, doesn't he?
Actually, no, there is a reason the storm is set up this way. This is the
Oh.
normal storm.
I have idea of what this storm is, and I am I feel bad. But where's my shapers?
I think digging would be the opposite of a good thing.
No, digging is
mean-
a good thing.
Don't worms kind of do the opposite of dig? They come out from their holes.
Shaper
They get
was
flooded out of their holes, Nasa.
15.
Well, I mean,
Oh.
Okay,
sleeping.
I failed that. I failed my first attempt to cast Shapers.
I will just mention
you
that
have
if we
enough
put
for
ourselves in a
2
hole,
more
we will get
attempts if you are going to attempt shaping the earth.
I'm gonna attempt again.
Do we really want to put ourselves in a pit where we could get flooded
Yeah,
and
it's-
drown?
It's just in a pit shelter.
Build
Okay.
around us because we
I'm-
only got to build around us.
I am pulling earth out of the ground and building walls and roof. I'm doing a top tent.
Oi.
Does that pass with a
That's
-4?
also a fail.
You got one more attempt before the storm is upon you.
Nope.
That definitely failed.
I
The
think that's a
storm is
crit,
among
actually,
us.
with the -4. Is that a-
No, my difficulty level is 15. So
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, no.
I'm going to be walking because I don't want to fly during this.
So
Walking? I'm fucking running!
Well, you know what I mean.
you
I'm going
guys
to be around.
are now running for your lives away from the storm. You know,
I
this
assume
is
we're
kind of
rolling
a
dexterity.
familiar situation, running for your lives from something.
I assume we're rolling dexterity.
You're going to need to roll dexterity, health checks, and you have 2 rolls worth to
Dex
do that
passes.
until you get hit. So, perceptions at a -2, and
Wait,
survival
hold on, is that?
from those that have it at a -1.
Hold on.
Dex.
I have to read something. Darn it! I thought they
Okay.
Good job,
but
Hacks. Hacks, you ruled.
Okay,
so my dex passed,
Dex
and then
passed.
it is a
Health check passed. And what was the last
Health.
one?
A perception for those that have the perceptions.
pass my health.
Okay, attempting a
then-
perception.
You
I critically succeeded my perception, I think.
I passed all 3.
I cannot see.
And those that have a survival needs to roll a.
Oh wait, no, I was just
I-
short of crit.
I has a survival. I can roll a survival.
Yeah, but you failed your
I
passed
perception, so your
perception.
survival doesn't make any useful for you if you
Okay.
cannot see the thing.
Yeah, fair enough.
Remember, the
Yeah.
survival is a -1 and the perception is a -2.
Oh, perception.
Well, I failed regardless of negatives on the perception.
Or
Oh,
past it anyway.
in which case, if you said perception -2, I fail by 1 for the perception.
I failed the health. What happens with the health?
So you lose fatigue point.
Oh. Oh.
How many of those did you have left?
I pass.
You
Most.
don't lose fatigue points while attempting the cast. It's only
Oh,
if you
okay.
Casting
succeed.
does not lose fatigue points.
Ah, okay.
Successful cast does.
Is there any, like, downside to fizzling a spell other than you wasted the time that it would take?
If I critically fail, a weird magical effect happens.
Yes, because I always do wild magic for crit fails on magic.
As you do. Makes life more interesting.
So,
Your fireball self-destructs.
Ooh, a
who
crit fail on a
passed
fireball.
their perception and their survival?
I don't have a survival check.
Don't have survival.
So,
I failed my perception by 1, unfortunately.
I failed my perception by a number.
Paige, you find
Yes.
a small, like, cave-like area underneath a old tree. Not a very happy-looking tree, but it is a tree that is old and dead. But its roots kind of make a sort of cave-ish.
That
Looks like you might be able to squeeze everyone in. It's
I
gonna be
tried
tight.
I tried pointing the party towards us. Like, I think that is a place we can hide.
Hey, over here!
What you do? But you can both be to. Oh, fuck it.
Ross is sad now.
So, does everybody squeeze into the tree root cave?
Sure,
I still
why
don't
not?
really have a choice, but yeah.
No, we
So-
have a choice. It's just
Well,
Choice
we
is
really-
continue running.
yeah, it's better to find some form of shelter.
As the
I said again.
cloud sweeps over, the area outside of your little impromptu safety hole takes on a strange greenish purple hue. As you can see things moving about in the thick fog outside, and you hear the sound of torrential downpour of rain. You're all wet at this point because Tree Root Cave may be good enough to prevent the worst of it, but you know it's full of holes and you're still under a layer of dirt and tree root. So you guys are wet.
Yeah.
And miserable. Everybody roll perception at a -2.
Hey, that's a pass.
I pass very well.
I failed.
And so does Paige.
No, I critically succeed my perception.
Okay, so
Or is it crit? No, never mind. No, I'm 1 short of crit.
you're 1 short of crit.
Yeah, feels bad.
So everybody that passes hears a sound over the sounds of the roaring thunder and torrential downpour outside. You're not quite sure what it is. For those of you that rolled in the single digits, roll an intelligence check at a -2.
Going to be fail anyway for me.
Damn it!
Yes.
Got a 10.
I swear I swear I've never passed an intelligence roll in my life.
What a
Hey,
surprise.
you tried being smart?
Ouch.
Was that a pass, Cameo? So, Cameo,
I think Petra needs to roll a burn check.
you've never really heard much of something like this, but you heard that the Yaks may or may not have used something similar at some point. But you're fairly certain that you hear the sound of a horn being blown. Musical horn, like but like a singular note, very loud, very, because it's loud enough that you can barely hear it over the sounds of the storm.
What the heck is that instrument? I can't be the only one who hears that, right?
Hear what?
The instrument in the background?
Oh, is that what that is? Wait, what? I hear something.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the background, there's someone playing like a singular note. I don't know. I can hear it though.
It was a fairly short call, like not too long, but not too short. Somewhere in between that area.
I think I have a feeling this is with information that we already know. Can I try to connect some dots, because I think I know what's happening.
You can try.
So, remember how there's like a lot of what were they called? The gut engines, and they all had different effects, right?
Yeah.
I do remember that there was one called the Storm God. I think Lena, or whatever her name is in there. Do you think that might be that God engine passing by? The Storm God one?
You can
Big fuck off magical storm. It
I
does
can
sound like it
roll
makes
area
sense.
knowledge, I assume.
yes, you can roll area knowledge to see what you know about that.
That is a pass by 4.
So, while you have heard of her generating her own storms from the machine, you haven't heard of them being this, or coming from the north over the mountains. And as far as you're aware, what noises do come out of the machine normally aren't anything that could be considered musical.
This doesn't line up with what Storm God does. Terrifying God engine to find, but while it can generate storms, nothing like this.
As if
Alright.
to punctuate his point, a miniature tornado kicks up like almost immediately outside where you guys are. It's not enough to actually do a lot of damage around where you are, but it's kind of that punctuating, like, yeah, fuck you. Also, Clinker has passed out.
Linker?
I poke with wing.
So for all of you that are still conscious, I need another perception check.
Okay, come in.
I pass.
I pass.
Pass.
So everybody passed. You all feel a steady rumbling in the ground that starts out very subtly at first, and then it begins to pick up in intensity.
Do you all feel that in the ground?
Yeah.
I am not liking this.
I'll look over at the nearest puddle of water.
It is vibrating violently.
I feel like there's something large passing by.
Or I should say rippling.
Or a lot of things passing by.
You can roll a perception at a -2 to try and see if you can hear anything outside over the sounds of the storm.
I pass.
I pass.
I found miserably.
Okay. And for everybody but Petrol, you hear the sound of what sounds like hooves, actually. and lots of them.
Assuming stampede.
And I will also note, it sounds like it is headed your way.
Oh no.
Should we do something about that?
Slashing, are you able to put up an earth barrier in front of the entrance?
Attempts to do so. I'm assuming with the -4 still.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a fail.
As you were attempting to cast another time, which I'm assuming you are attempting, you hear the sound of what is very obviously now a war horn of some sort. That is very loud.
Slashing, could you hurry up with that barrier?
Freak out attempt. It fails again.
Slashing, we sort of need this right now.
You don't think I'm trying?
I wonder if these are spawn codes of a different type of spell spawn.
And attempts again. It finally succeeds.
Oh, that was too close.
Putting up the wall. Gonna attempt to reinforce it by earth to stone. And I'm assuming earth to stone. That's a fail. Yeah.
So
It'll have to do.
everybody needs to roll a will save.
Oh gosh.
Okay, now.
Why? Why must I roll that? I think I just barely failed.
I just failed.
I don't need to say whether I passed or failed mine.
So
Oh my god. How am I the only one? Shit.
as you guys seal yourselves in, you feel a sudden and very primal urge to, all except for, Moop. You feel the urge to run. As if something is coming for you.
ADHD.
It is a unnatural but primal urge, and you just sealed yourself in.
It starts clawing at the wall that I just made.
Stop!
Moop, I need you to make another save. This one at a -2. Also, for those trying to get out, you can roll a strength check to see if you
I
can.
don't wish to.
Let's see. If you failed, Argo, the run means not being where you are.
No. Yeah, that's a crit on my strength check.
Yeah, I think both me and Petrol just rammed down the wall.
Yeah, you guys. So, you had made a wall, but you didn't in any way anchor it, so it just kind of plops over as you shove it over and take off at dead sprints. Let's actually throw a bit of fun into this.
Yeah,
Also,
which cardinal
roll a
direction
D100.
we go.
Also, I'm not going to be running, I'm going to be flying at full speed.
You
In whatever
physically
direction
could
that
not
I'm
if
going.
You tried with the winds.
So I'm assuming roll a D100.
65.
Okay.
28. Oh no, we are not going in the same direction. That is very clear.
I think we're going the No? Yeah, opposite directions from each other.
Yeah,
Pretty
right.
much. So
Of all the
100
times for me to
is
crit.
north, 50 is south. Let's see. If I am doing both math and compass correctly, 25 would be east, and then 75 would be west.
Yes.
So You
So
can-
I'm going southwest.
And I'm heading
Yep.
straight east.
Basically. Also, Clinker, make a health check. Clinker is still unconscious. And, let's see. Nasai, you said you failed your will save as well, correct?
Oh, yeah.
You need to also roll percentage.
Oh, no. That sounds not good. 1D.
So,
Well, at least I'm not going to be alone.
for, yep, you're basically following, slashing, but at a slight angle. I will get to you in just a moment. The sudden influx of wind and water has woken up the Clinker, who needs to make a will save now, at a -2.
What's going? Huh? Okay, that's
He
a pass.
passes with flying colors.
So,
What? Since when do I pass will saves?
Since now. Since now.
so
Okay.
for you get to watch as 3 of your companions shoot off in different directions at a dead full sprint, as you can feel something like clawing at your brain. Your chest is tight. You feel afraid, unlike most of the things that you've been with. Only thing comparable would be the fear of aura of a scarecrow, but this is something deeper and more primal, as you see Moop is struggling not only with the pain of her molting, but with something else. Moop, you are hungry, and not the usual hunger. You're feeling the urge to hunt.
Oh. Oh.
Moop, why are you looking at me like that?
It's not you. It's not you. Trust me.
Moop, why are you?
Clinker?
Why are you?
Roll at a -3 for a will save.
Oh, it just keeps stacking. Okay, that's a fail this time. I assume that it just keeps getting worse every pass.
I mean, as the source gets closer, correct? Now roll a percentage, and let's see which direction you head off in.
That would be almost due south. Good, at least I'm not going north.
So, in a combination of panic from that seems to be now radiating from both Moop and vaguely in the northern direction, you head straight for a place that you've now come to somewhat associate with safety, and start sprinting off in the direction of Canterlot.
Yeah, reasonable.
Now, everybody that is running, go ahead and roll a perception check. Good job.
That's a pass.
I pass.
Give me. I don't think, but just give me a.
Give me
Yeah, no.
one moment. I am checking to see.
That's just a solid pass.
So,
I passed.
did anybody fail?
Not that I'm aware of.
So, as you guys start your all-out sprint in opposite directions, for the most part, you all have the chance, and you glance over your shoulders to see what it is that you are running from. And for everybody but Clinker, you see indistinct shapes, massive shapes, not quite like, Revenant or Iron Revenant or like God Engine massive, but they are big. They are bigger than the Hunter. They are bigger than the Beast of the Pits. And so you look back and you feel that radiating primal fear that is now driving you to run at the absolute max that you can. You are putting more into this running than anything that you have ever done physically like this, because you don't know what it is, but you're certain whatever it is, if it catches you, it means death.
Yep.
For Clinker, you get a part in the clouds just enough to catch a glimpse of what is following, as what you realize now is a group of individual things split up, and the one that starts following you recognize from one of the memory stones that you guys have picked up, as the armored figure riding atop a bestial mount that seems very horse-like, but is not only larger than Shadowfire, but also gives the impression of more of a predator than an actual equine, starts barreling at you at full speed.
It's the Lord of the Hunt.
All through this, you hear the sound of horns, and as they get closer, you see everything from psychos to random spellspawn monsters. Moop, you can make one more save to try and resist the hunt. It will be a will save at a -3. Does that pass?
That's a pass. Holy fuck.
So, as you are able to fight off the
call of the
urge
hunt.
to follow the hunt, to, in essence, begin hunting your own party, you also hear something hit the tree. And as the urge to hunt ebbs, the urge to flee begins to build, and you'll need to roll a will save at a -2. Okay, so you're also able to hold at bay the fear that seems to accompany the hunt, with you being a predator and all. Go ahead. Are you going to attempt to flee?
I want to see what the fuck is going on and to see if I can see anyone.
Well, as you are attempting to leave your little hole in the ground, something that hit your tree earlier, you hear a massive inhale as it lifts and strains against the tree itself and starts to uproot it. And as you climb out of the hole, you recognize one of your companions, Torque, as he is attempting to wrench the tree from the ground. His eyes are wide and bloodshot, and he seems to be not all together, less so poo brain and more so a feral urge to hunt.
Ah, so you're a carnivore. I see.
Wait, I'm an omnivore. Does that make any difference? Or
Your biology is way
So,
more.
Zebras aren't true omnivores.
I am leaning more into mythological than MLP minotaurs, which tend to be carnivorous. But I want the two that went off in the same direction to roll a dexterity saving throw.
Ah.
I
Pass
don't know
on
if you'd call
nose.
it a dexterity, or not dexterity. I don't know if you'd call it a saving throw, but I still pass.
So as you guys are attempting to flee, a fireball explodes between the two of you
Ah.
as you hear something buzzing from behind. And go ahead and roll perception if you want to attempt to try and see what is pursuing you.
I think I know what's pursuing us, so I'm gonna check.
I want to check.
I,
so pass.
I know who it. I see it. It's this eye.
So as you guys look back, it is indeed your companion who, now salivating and fangs bared, is attempting to catch up with you in flight, somehow managing to battle the storm with little trouble as you see the hulking figures, two of them, following along further behind.
Yep, continuing to sprint.
This feels like it could be mildly traumatizing, or more so in the future.
You're
But that is a thought I will push back to another day.
for Vigil.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll another will save.
Pass.
So as you are making your sprint, you see things start to form in the mists around you, but you're, through a combination of the adrenaline-fueled terror that you are feeling and your own stubbornness, you are managed to plow through what appears to have been an attempt to recreate Spitfire as you continue on in a dead sprint.
Stubbornness. Yeah, that sounds about right.
You can hear the sound of the heavy galloping hooves of the things chasing you. So, this is the point where the party gets to decide what do. You are with at least an hour's brisk walk away from where you started now, still at a dead sprint and moving farther. You are still being hunted.
Well,
Keep running until I'm not hunted.
Trying to get
right.
away.
So how far north from Canterlot were we?
At least 2 days travel.
Fuck. That's a
But I
far
want to point
distance.
out that at this point, none of you are going to be going for a rational thought.
I mean, it does still, because if I get there, even if the Guardian doesn't let me in, surely the Kazites must know something about how to survive this. So even though it's a long shot, I'm just gonna keep running that way.
If possible, climbing a tree is usually effective.
Of course you would say that.
Of course, the arboreal Zeeb.
So, I don't know if that
Don't
was a joke, so
until
I
you
want
try
to point
crying.
out that you literally just had a Minotaur try and rip a tree out of the ground.
Yes, but Nasa wasn't there to see that. Nasa had already taken off.
And you already know that these things have hands.
That's unfortunate. Fine, I'll keep running.
Yeah, I'm keep running. If the bug tries to throw a fireball at me again, I'm going to attempt to catch it.
If the bug tries to throw a fireball at you, there's a decent chance it'll explode.
So,
I mean, I could literally fight Synax, but that would be that
And
doesn't...
stop and let all the other things catch you?
Yeah, that's true.
so
Actually, is it possible to try to escape them so that I'm then hidden?
you would have to not only break line of sight, but have enough of a head lead to give yourself a enough time to actually try and hide, which would require you to spend the fatigue points, and it would be 3 fatigue points, roll dexterity, and then roll your stealth and or what do you call it?
Wait, that actually seems possible.
Stealth and or camouflage. That's what it is. Not to mention you all need to roll a health now.
Oh gosh.
Because, out in the middle of a terrifying storm...
I failed.
I pass miraculously!
I do not pass.
I also passed.
You lose 1 fatigue point and take a point of damage from storm.
Is that only for the people who fail?
Yes.
Okay.
I also think the cameo crit succeed.
I am still booked.
I'm going to spend the fatigue points to try to outrun them to do the thing so that I can do the dexterity. And then do the stealth thing. The thing that you said that I'd have to do.
I'm just bucking it.
Wait, okay, hang on a second. How many miles would 2 days travel be?
Things can you-
How long is a piece of string?
Well, you mean in GURPS? Because I have rope in GURPS and they come in, what, I think 60 yards? No, 10 yards.
I passed the dex by 3.
I am going to point out that just because I say that it is 2 days travel doesn't mean there is a definite... Like, if you were to try to
And I passed
go
stealth.
at a dead sprint for 2 days, it would not make 2 days travel. If you
By the way, Nameless,
managed to survive
Did the
it,
thing.
you would probably make up to 4 to 5 days of travel.
I mean, a horse at a dead sprint, though, is like 40 miles an hour.
Yes, we are not going to
Hacks.
debate
Hacks
what
for
the DM
5
has said.
minutes. Could you not be yourself for 5 minutes?
Now,
Also, Nimbus, I did the thing where I spent the fatigue points and then I rolled my dex. I passed my dex by 3. And then I rolled my stealth and I passed my stealth by 3.
okay.
Because you said to do that in that order.
Okay. And you watch as both Sai and the colossal creature that is following you. I say colossal, it's not really that big. But you can roll a perception to get a better look at it.
Does that include me, considering I'm, now hidden?
No, that is specifically you.
Okay,
Yeah.
Because you are now no longer at a dead sprint.
I can see.
So, as it barrels past you on its mount is much more draconic in nature, kind of resembling an oversized lizard more, though, but made of metal. And as it barrels past, you see a thing much in the same vein as what you saw in the Project Huntsman. But this one is a full head and shoulders taller than the other one. And its torso looks like it could fit at least 4 ponies, if not 5. Full-grown ponies, I should note. As it thunders past on the mount that it is riding. You also see a variety of different creatures and even some psychos thrown into the mix. The occasional pony. These things have gathered up basically anything that could be considered predatory and is now hunting their prey.
This fucked up. I'm a good enough predator.
And I want to point out that you were 1 away from being found out. You were very lucky. So, you have successfully shaken your tail. Now they are currently off. The sense of that primal fear that has been clawing around the inside of your chest has subsided, and you are able to think clearly.
And in my clear thoughts, I think to myself, damn, that's fucked up. I'm a good enough predator to be part of that.
So, for
I'm still running.
It is arbitrarily decided that I'm a victim.
To be fair, as someone who is naturally born carnivore, I still had the fear thing first. So it's more like if you're a scaredy bitch, you're going to be by default considered not a predator. Or at least that's how I feel.
I'm pouting while I'm hidden.
So, for everyone that is still currently being pursued, you lose a fatigue point.
Oh, fun.
So, you now need to figure out how you are going to solve your problems. There are 3 of you that are still running away. Also, I need Vigil to make a will save.
Oh no. I pass again.
So, you do feel that primal fear start to shift as you essentially just plow through one of their attempts to stop you. And you start to feel like different urges, more predatory ones. And as you make your attempt to thwart them the first time, you can almost feel like a sense of irritation from it. But you continue running. For Clinker, what is Clinker doing? How is Clinker going to attempt to escape?
What kind of environment are we in? Like, is it an open field? Are there trees? Like, what is around?
There is the occasional tree in poor condition. There is occasional scrubby bushes and, like, river up ahead of you. But for the most part, there's not a whole lot of anything really that would be considered useful. Although you could roll a perception.
I
just
do
realized
that.
this is gonna suck when we realize that I'm the one that holds all of the rations.
Don't perceive.
Yes, so you continue running.
Okay, you said there's a river up ahead?
Yes. I will give you time to think as we switch to Paige.
I am still running.
So
I'm assuming Sai's charging up another fireball.
you can hear the sound of the casting, yes.
Okay, I am preparing to cast a catch spell.
Okay. Fireball has been yeeted.
Let's hope I get an 8 or lower. Nope.
That is double what you needed, actually. And I believe that's a crit fail.
That is a crit fail.
Roll a percentage.
Oh, this'll be fun. Oh, this'll be fun.
$28. That good or bad?
We're about to
But
find
far
out.
enough.
Yes. Slashing has also joined the Club of
See.
Exploding.
Remember, this is me attempting to catch your fireball.
I cast fireball.
And so either way, I get hit by the fireball.
Damn it, XP to level 3.
So you said 28?
Yes.
28.
What wild magic is in store for us today?
Fearfully running for my life and trying to use meta magic to prevent, or no, defensive magic to prevent a fireball from hitting me in the face.
So I need you to roll. We're gonna go with a health check. No minuses.
Hey. Nope.
You are now a sheep.
I'm sorry, what?
What?
Well, that's a new one.
That's interesting.
So I got hit by polymorph.
Bah.
Yes, you just got hit by a polymorph. And need to roll another health check to make sure you can keep up your previous pace.
Hey!
Yeah. I'm just now a scared goat.
Sheep.
Or sheep.
I'm the fainting goat around here.
So we're going to move back to Petrol, who needs to make another will save.
Don't
At a
I
minus
still
2.
get hit by the fireball?
Oh, there it is. Finally, you're waiting for it, Nameless. You're waiting for it.
I mean, that would have failed regardless, but... So, as you are... brain. I can English. As you start to slow a bit, you realize that suddenly, despite not actually being hungry, you feel the urge to join, the urge to chase, the urge to hunt. I will note that you do not feel the urge to pull out your rifle and shoot people. This is primal, not...
I was going to say, because
I'm going to go and one-shot the whole party because I'm not thinking ahead about that. But
I don't know if you noticed this, but I can kill anything in sight.
In one shot.
Yes, anything reasonably sized.
Yeah.
Anything that is, of course.
Including minotaurs, apparently.
You and your group come to a sliding stop. Your hunters now becoming your fellow hunters rather than the ones hunting you. And you basically turn around, do a 180, and take off at a dead sprint again. Now roll a dexterity at a -5.
Now, that's a fail.
Yes, you get kneecapped by a dragon
What's a fail?
statue.
1.
You are now face first in the mud next to a statue of Moop.
A statue of Mooch. Oh. Is this some dragon thing? What? Wait, is that Moop?
Also roll a will save at a +2.
That's...
So you were able to shake the predatory instinct that really isn't yours as the hunt moves on without you, and you stare at the statue of
Boop rock.
Okay, so whatever the fuck that hunt was, Shudder. That was weird, but why is there a statue of Moop? Poke and prod it a couple times. Why is there a statue of Moop out here? In the middle of nowhere, surrounded by whatever the fuck that was. I call out, Moot, Moot, where are you?
Lift statue to look underneath. Moop.
That's a Pinkie Pie thing. I don't think Vigil's that dumb.
Intelligence is 10.
So that's debatable.
Average intelligence is what you're saying.
Yes. Painfully average.
So, it is now Clinker's turn. What is Clinker doing? Has Clinker come up with a plan?
A very bad plan that I'm going to try to avoid having to use. First, I would like to try and figure out where I am, for which I'd like to roll area knowledge.
Go ahead and roll area knowledge at a -4.
Haha, fuck you, that passes.
So you are somewhere between the Canterlot Mountain, or not the Canterlot Mountain and the Frostworks area. Somewhere between there. Also, you're somewhere between Manhattan and where is that place?
Vancouver.
Vancouver.
So I don't know anything about like the area just north of Canterlot, like
Nope,
landmarks,
because
anything that might be helpful.
that is all considered
Arcanus
Arcanus
lands.
territory, which normally you would not walk into willingly unless somebody dragged you. However,
Sort of
with
like
the
our party.
you were
Yeah.
kind of dragged there.
Okay. Well,
Not to mention that, as far as you can tell, this area is just kind of open wastes.
so that river, how deep is it?
It's about river deep.
That's not helpful. Like, is it deep enough for me to submerge myself?
I don't
Yeah,
know. You
you-
haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll find out if this bad plan I have will even be doable when we get to the river.
So we are going to hop over to Paige, who needs to roll a dexterity check.
Yay. No, I succeed on nose.
So you managed to avoid fireball again. What do now? You are now sheep with no horn.
The sheep continues the run.
The sheep sees things up ahead. Is rock.
The sheep runs towards rocks.
So go ahead and roll a dex with a +2 because you small.
I succeed.
Now, do you have a stealth skill of some sort?
No.
Roll a
Dex or intelligence?
add the 2, subtract 4. That's what you need to beat.
Add both together and then subtract 4?
No, brain is not mathing correctly. Don't do that.
That
Yeah.
would be really high, Nameless.
Add 2 together and divide by 2?
I'm trying to think of how, because that would be a combination of the 2.
Average them and subtract
Average.
something.
There we go. That's math is not my strong suit ever.
Pat.
I-
That's
So,
why
I
I'm here,
was-
Nameless.
I was
round
having
up or round
an
down?
I was having an aneurysm, so I was just trying
Round
to
down.
focus on the grand hole rather than everything else.
So 12 minus 4? Oh, I would succeed.
Yes. So you have done the stealth.
Remarkably.
Quietly bleeding to myself.
As the host thunders past, you are able to wait for a while before both the primal fear and the sound subsides. What do?
I don't know. I'm gonna hide for a little bit longer and hope the storm passes.
Clinker!
Yes, okay, so... all ideas I have require me getting to the river first.
Roll dexterity. Flat dexterity. Just normal.
I think that... No, that just fails. God damn it.
So you have one more chance to roll it. They are much
Give-
closer, though.
Give me just a second. Okay. Please pass. Okay, that passes.
Yes. So you have made it to the river, ahead of your pursuers. What do?
Okay, so... First, very quick question. Is there anything around on the bank?
Some small rocks, a few sticks, small weedy plants.
Yep, nothing useful. Okay. Now, about how wide and how deep is the river?
You can see the other side of the river, but torrential downpour. It's really hard to see into river.
Okay, well, I guess we're just going to have to hope that it's deep enough. So, I'm going to try to hide under the water.
Okay, roll strength and roll health.
Okay.
Are you trying to go like full ninja style, like ninja stealth, hiding under the water?
So the strength passes. And health. Oh, shit. That fails by 1.
So, you make it there, and you're able to keep yourself in one place under the water. You hear the sounds of things outside, but you realize you didn't take a big enough breath. You can now roll a negative health check, so like a minus, we'll say -1 for now, to try and stay under, or you can surface.
Okay. If I try to surface, would I be able to roll, say, stealth to take a breath without poking more than just the tip of my nose above the water?
You can attempt to.
Okay, well, that's what I'm going to go for, because it's the same check, but... Well, actually, no, it's a better check now, and it gives me a better chance of not dying. Drowning's not a fun way to go. Okay, so trying stealth. Please work. That is a pass!
So roll health.
That is a bad fail.
You inhale a mouthful of water. What do?
How... Are the things still going past?
As far as you can tell, you have no idea. You are currently mostly underwater.
I have to surface my head and actually get a breath.
This is some serious ninja shit you're doing right now.
So, as you poke your head out of the water, roll perception.
That passes.
You no longer see your pursuers, and the fear begins to subside.
Oh, thanks,
So,
okay.
you guys can all roll.
I'm gonna drag myself back to the shore of the river.
You guys can all roll a. Either if you have survival, you can roll survival or intelligence -1, except for Petrol and Moop.
Nope.
I was in the middle of typing it, but of course then except for petrol and
Survival. That is a pass by 3.
And Nasa, if you can... Does that pass? roll a perception at a -2 for Nasa. Okay. So everybody is back with the group now, except for Slashing. And you see both Vigil and Moop, or, well, the statue of Moop. What do?
Am I with you guys or not? I didn't hear.
Yes, you made it back to the party,
Okay.
except for Slashing. Slashing is the only one not there. I will
Alright, so
note
now,
that the surrounding...
now that we're back, let's do a head count.
The
Yeah,
tree has been mostly knocked down, and the surrounding area is churned to a miserable slurry of mud and rocks, and like there's... If you try a tracking at this point, it is going to be at a -12.
By the
So
way, quick question.
is the storm still going at full tilt?
Yes, you're all... You have some shelter from the fallen tree that you're using right now, but it is enough to protect your entire party.
Yeah, as soon as I got back to where the party is, I promptly passed out.
I do have a bit of a question. Those who were predators, are they back with us or?
No, at the moment you do not know where the other two are.
That is unfortunate, and as much as I would like to go fight into Synax, I don't know if that is the most optimal thing at the moment.
Also, for my sheep, I need you to roll a perception.
Also, wait, hold on. Is there a sheep with us?
I am the sheep.
There is no sheep with you, by the way.
The sheep can see, unless there was a negative.
There was no negative.
Okay, the sheep can see.
I can just imagine just a sheep walking up to the party. Meh. The fuck is a sheep doing here?
So, as you
More
were,
importantly, why can a sheep not talk?
as you were trying to walk about, you, I'm going to say no for those livestock just because, moral questions. And, eating cows and sheep is kind of a regular thing for carnivores. I know it originally does in the show, but, it's just easier to say no. But,
Okay.
for the sheep, if you attention, I can English, goddamn.
Can you?
When you direct your attention upwards a bit, because you're kind of wandering around, not sure where you are, you see something long and serpentine flying through the sky, as it is very indistinct and hard to see, but it flies overhead, headed in the vaguely the same general direction that you were coming from.
Ah. Hmm.
No idea what that was.
You may now attempt to make a new check to make it back to your group.
Perception, no minuses?
It was, if I remember correctly, it was intelligence -1.
Oh, then no, I failed.
Yes, good job. So, what does the main body of the party do?
I'm pouting still. I couldn't even get picked to be a predator.
Her problem is she wasn't a predator.
Yes,
So,
and there are reasons for that.
unconscious, made of stone, so I guess Vigil gets to make the decisions for the party.
unconscious,
Wait, who
made of
put him in
stone,
charge?
and nowhere near the party.
Also, this is unlikely, but by any chance, would I be able to find tracks for the lost sheep? Bit
Minus
of a
12.
long stretch, but just want to see if I can find
You can roll it
There.
at a minus 12.
them. Nah, I didn't pass. It was a long shot, but I wanted to see if I'd pass. I do not find tracks.
Well, I mean, the place is muddy as heck, and Yeah.
The ground would have also been trampled.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
So, yes, it looks like the hunting party just kind of milled about for long enough as long as it took to like get the bearing on where you guys had headed off, and left quite the mess. So, is Vigil still gone?
I've literally just put my headphones on.
Yes, you are currently the only one capable of making a decision right now.
Wait,
It
hold
is
on, I'm
still-
alive.
It is still a torrential downpour. You have one made of rock, one pouting, and one unconscious. And no sign of slashing. Not to mention, 2 of your party members are currently MIA as well, being poo-brained.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Is there any sort of cave or reasonable shelter that I can find?
You can roll a perception.
I pass.
Do you have a survival?
No, I do not.
Intelligence -1.
Because intelligence roll, here's where I fuck it up. Okay, has done a thing. Good thing too.
Petrol. Is that a crit fail?
No.
You find a place. It's a questionable place. But you guys are all huddled under what appears to be a fairly large leaf.
It's better than nothing.
Okay, wait. Who dragged my unconscious body there?
Probably me being the one who led the group. Did I also drag the statue over?
Roll strength.
That's a pass.
Yes, you were able to do both.
I drag the statue.
Cameo is excited about something. What did Cameo do? Ah, yes.
Cameo passed the health check.
So, like, midway through dragging.
No, more like right at the end of it. The stuff starts to crack.
Just like a fuck you. I wasn't gonna walk there. Sorry, I couldn't resist that.
Actually, that was actually why I said that, like, actually at the end.
So, you guys have taken shelter for the moment, and now we are going to see if the sheep can at least find shelter.
You can't find my party, but I can find shelter.
Yes, the sheep has found several rocks leaning together to form a small place to hide.
A small hut.
Yes.
Stone cave.
So hold on, is Moop's out of the stone now, right?
Yes, Moop is no longer a rock.
Do I see Moop by any chance?
She is literally sitting next to you. I would hope so.
Okay,
I'm
I didn't know
actually
she
on
made
the
it in.
floor.
I didn't hear.
Guess what? I'm laying flat on my back. So, any idea what the heck just happened?
Some dragon thing, probably.
I don't know, but who?
Yeah, what's up?
Can I get a hug?
Yeah. Alright, come on. Hug time.
So, as Moop does the hug, you do note sudden pair of wings.
I look over. Moop. Could you check your back for a moment?
My back? Why? Is there something on my back?
With the brand new pair of
You now have
wings.
wings.
Do.
Well, duh. I just went through the mold. What do you expect?
You're asking this to a non-dragon?
You see grown dragons with wings. You see me, a known baby dragon without wings. Clearly, at some point, we would get wings.
I just thought it was a bad sickness. You called it a multitude. I just thought it was a bad sickness that would fix itself. Not wings.
So, I am going to move this along a little just because. I will say that it only takes a couple hours, but you guys eventually get to a point where the rain has stopped and quieted down. Now you're able to, it's still raining, but it's more of that, light spring shower rather than trying to drown you from on high.
It's constant, but it's not bad.
Yes.
Also, I don't know if anyone noticed, but I was sitting away from others during this time on my own.
Also, everybody needs to roll a health check because you have been nothing but soaking wet for hours now.
I felt that.
I failed.
Except for Moop. Moop should be fine.
Hax passed it whilst unconscious. A fucking horse.
So, everybody that failed is now sick. You will take a -1 penalty until you, we'll say, week to 2 weeks. We'll go with 2 weeks of a -1 penalty because, you caught the cold. Put your immune system under a lot of stress, and you were wet.
Nameless. We both know that's not quite how that works.
Yes, I do know that, but that's how I'm going to do this.
I love how the medical professional went ahead and did that.
The medical professional went and did the thing that all medical professionals know of. The cold doesn't actually give you a cold.
I'm aware.
The irony.
Funny. Oh, it's
You
just
have
funny.
to understand, this technically also falls in line with what was already canon in this show, because even though it doesn't fall in line with real life, the show has shown that if you're in a cold space, wet, you probably get the cold. So it still works for him in this case, even if it doesn't work IRL.
Yeah, I mean, IRL, your immune system will do shit, but it'll still need to encounter the virus in order to get it.
Yes.
I will also make the comment, we're currently running through heavily muddy place that has been trampled by a large quantity of random creatures.
But I
Not to
will
mention
just
several that were probably heavily diseased.
Yes, but I do just want to make clarification for anyone who is confused. Being cold does not give you the cold in real life. For anyone that still carries that misconception.
Also, Hax, I feel like as you're in the water, you now have dysentery.
Hey, I passed my check, so fuck off.
I know it'd be funny. It's like, oh, you're in the water. Instead of having the cold, you now have dysentery.
Yeah, no, I'm not going that in depth with diseases.
Nameless, we be playing the Oregon Trail out here.
Because, I mean, you are liable to get that from
So,
unpurified.
Okay, can we move on now? Maybe, possibly.
Paige, I want you to roll another intelligence -1.
With the extra minus, or is it just the -1 for being sick?
Yes, with the extra -1.
Okay,
I'm pretty sure that
So-
still passes for you, though.
that is a pass.
You are able to wander your way back to the group as non-speaking sheep.
Bah bah.
Party now has random sheep.
It's floofy, but soaking wet. But floofy.
Oh my god, it's wet! And it smells funky. But floofy.
Yes.
So we're still undercover, yeah?
Yes.
I'm gonna try and blow dry it with my wings, because wings.
Comment. You have
Sorry,
no
why are
clue.
you expending energy drying off a random sheep?
Because how often does a sheep walk up to a party that contains a predator and just casually stands there? This must be something. This just doesn't happen.
I feel like Patrick should be rolling an intelligence check to make this determination.
I mean, I feel like it's common sense. Prey does not walk up to predators. You don't just see a gazelle walking up to a lion and be like, "Hey, bitch, what's up?"
Actually, I've walked up to lions before, but usually there are several different reasons for that.
You get what I mean? That prey just doesn't walk up to predator.
I am going to hug Foofy Sheep to squeeze off the liquid, the water.
Yeah.
I mean, I would recommend heat, but you'd probably set it on fire instead.
Hey, unlike you, I have massive control, man. I can control my fire.
And I'm just gonna do a
What were
thermology check
those
to get
flame
an
sneezes
idea of how
earlier?
long I'm gonna be stuck like this.
Mood,
Well-
what were those flame sneezes earlier?
Hey, I was going through the
As
months.
you are going to attempt to decipher this, you kind of just turn back into a unicorn.
So that's why. That makes sense.
Roll strength at a -2. Never mind, you didn't even need that. You are now flattened by a full-size unicorn suddenly on top of you.
I can just imagine Moop now splayed out on the floor like, ow.
Slashing! Oh no!
I get up.
Are you okay?
Was trying to catch a fireball from Sai and turned myself into a sheep.
Oh.
Fucking magic users.
Wait a minute, how'd you do that?
So, mind explaining that in detail? Cause, I magic.
I'd rather not talk about it.
When you use magic, there is a chance of you just failing horribly.
Ah, so magic being magic, aka fucking everything up.
Sometimes.
So,
Uh,
what does the party do now?
I mean, I'm out in the corner if anyone cares.
Damn it, how
Are you going to set up a camp now?
yeah.
I think now is a good time to do the usual break.
Yeah.
And for those of you that may or may not still be watching, I will let you know that if you are enjoying what we're doing here and would like to help support, I do have a Patreon page, link in the description, if you would like to help that way. If you check that out, we have 3 different tiers. You got the first tier, it's just a mention on the video. Second tier is a mention on the video, and after this we do a debrief where you guys get to talk to ask questions and talk to the party. Not everybody will be there, but the majority will be. And then after that, the third tier also gets a mention where I say their name at the end of every video and stream.
Don't forget Discord server Nameless.
Oh yes, there is also a Discord server.
That you gain access to.
I forget that like that's a thing that becomes a major like selling point for some people, because it's like a thing that like it's a weird if a Patreon server or it doesn't exist.
What?
Like every Patreon I have ever patroned to, except for one, had their own Discord server. So it was weird. So, yeah. All tiers get access to the Patreon Discord server.
In other words, you get to pay to be inducted into a cult.
I mean, it is called Cult of the Nameless One.
But isn't every Patreon server basically the same way?
It is a cult
No.
personality.
Kind of.
But yeah, that's one way you can support. If you are unable to do that, then just liking, commenting, subscribing, ringing the notification bell, and watching our videos are all things that will also be helpful in supporting us while we do this.
Watch hours. We're so far away on watch hours. We need watch hours so badly.
Yeah, we'll get there eventually.
It's
Maybe.
going up faster than it used to.
Well, yeah.
I mean,
that's
to
because
be
YouTube
fair,
is-
I did also throw in like fucking 10 hours the last couple of days.
Good job, Petrol.
Yeah, YouTube decided that, hey, we don't need to actually, like, keep these now, so here you go, have your, what do you call it, subs back.
Yeah,
Yeet.
hacks. I threw on like 3 streams at once and had them all muted in the background.
How did your internet survive?
Hey, mine could do it. Also, you could have checked them down to 144p.
I just let it sit on auto.
Mm.
Because I was playing a game that didn't require internet access, so I knew my computer could handle it, and it wasn't super RAM heavy, so I'm like, yeah, we're all good.
So, everybody, let me know when you're done with, like, drink stuff, whatever.
It seems like Kemi might be a little bit, but
Gonna make bacon.
I mean, I could literally just change to my phone and then we can talk there. Because I do have my sheet sent to my phone. So we could
that's
literally...
kind of useful.
Yeah. So...
That's up to you. If you want to keep going, I don't know if Argo decided to go to the bathroom or get food or anything.
Everton.
I've just realized, I don't think there's ever been an instance where I've lost more than 1 fatigue point.
I'll be back.
There aren't, out of combat, there aren't generally a lot of reasons to have more than, like, 1 or 2 fatigue points used at a time.
The exception
Unless
is
you're a
if
magic
it's magic.
Yeah. So, whenever everybody's ready, just let me know.
Okay.
Hmm.
Also, hacks.
Hmm?
You saw my message earlier?
The one about the meeting?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So,
So
will
we
do
have
that
time.
in... What's that?
I said, so we have set time.
Yes, that is the time. Nobody has argued, so that is when we are doing it.
Yes, we'll be there. Let's see. So so that's 2 for me. Okay, yeah. That'd be no problem.
I mean, it's only 1 AM for me during that part, so I can make that fine.
I will attempt to be there.
Huh?
No. I'm dumb. I zoned out for a moment.
It was like, Paige, you're not part of that.
Yeah, Paige, you're
Oh.
not one of the editors.
Oh, I am brain dead.
Clearly.
Apparently. Yeah, I'm like, hey, wait a second, Paige is not one of my editors.
I think Paige got too far into the sheep character there,
And Nameless
and
really
also
likes
acquired the
throwing
intelligence
drama
of one.
at us.
What's that?
Yeah.
I said Nameless really likes throwing drama at us.
I was
Probably
so,
most of the time.
I was so afraid I was actually gonna die. Fucking hell, I was terrified.
I mean, but did you die?
No, barely.
So, is everybody back? Are we all good? Are we still waiting on a moop?
I think
We're still waiting on
in the
them.
moop.
we waited on the moop for a hot minute here.
Moop, wrong chat.
Oh, where did you...
So, that one's for tomorrow, Moop.
Oh,
So, you guys need to do Night Watch.
well, okay. Has anyone woken me up?
You can roll a health check to wake yourself up.
No.
Well, Cameo said yes, so I mean, Moop's waking you up clearly.
Well, since you suck at waking yourself up, Moop has woken you up, and
Okay.
go ahead and roll your watches.
Perception.
I pass.
Well, I passed my perception, just barely.
I goes out of fail.
No, I pass.
I passed my watch.
Okay.
Patrol, aren't you on watch with Paige?
Yeah, but I needed to do my roll anyway. And I did my roll, I passed.
Oh, you rolled first. Oh, okay.
Yes. Blind, I swear.
And answer to the cameo is we will deal with that later. Right now, we continuing the session. So, for my brain just dropped that entire sentence.
So for the watch.
For the watch, you guys don't actually see anything of a
wait.
boat.
Move past the roll.
I also had other people that had already rolled.
Yes.
Things can happen on different watches. But for the ones that have rolled, since I need to specify that, as far as you can tell, nothing out of the ordinary happens on your watch. You do see a notable lack of
Tantibus.
Tantibus, yes.
Have our party members returned who were poop-brained?
No, they have not.
That sounds very worrying.
So, Moop, you gonna roll for your, there we go.
Oh yeah, and I need to roll a thing.
And everybody needs to roll health checks. And Moop needs to roll another check for the physician.
Oh, wow, I failed that health check quite badly.
I failed that too. Yeah, of course.
Pass.
16 doesn't become a crit fail until you're below 10, right?
Moop, do you pass?
Pretty sure, yeah.
Okay. Crit failing a health
Nope.
check sounds
Alright.
scary.
Let me look for the thing. Okay, so yeah, what was it? What was the number you were concerned about?
16?
16 becomes a crit fail. Yeah, if you got 6 or less, it's
Aha.
a crit. 16 is
Yeah,
a
I'm
crit fail.
perfectly fine then.
18 is still always, but yeah. Have you got modified skill of 6 or less? So you're fine.
Okay. So
Yay. Back to full health.
you guys wake up and still missing 2 party members. Otherwise, nothing out of the ordinary.
Should
Time
we
to
try
go
to
look for them.
find them, or do you think they'd be able to make their way?
We should find them.
Unless they're, I don't know, still in the storm,
So
still with the hunt.
you can go ahead and roll a search. Scrounging will not work for this.
Okay,
Yeah, no.
I have search.
Okay.
I do not.
I think I crit past the search.
Check the table.
I am checking the table.
I think for
Yeah, that's
basic-
always 4 is always a crit success.
Okay, so after a couple hours of searching, you find Torque just kind of standing next to a tree. His horn is stuck in one of the branches, but he currently is just standing there, drooling. You know, usual poo bearing things. And it takes you another couple hours, but you find
Sigh.
Sai stuck in between a pair of rocks.
It's not a boulder. It's a rock.
Just bloody typical.
I feel like with Pooh Brain, everyone has the respect to not attack them. It's just, yeah, we've all had that. I'm not going to bother attacking them. Even the psychos are like, nope.
I walk around to the front of Cynax and push her out from between the rocks.
She plops down into the mud, rights herself, and then stands there drooling. Typical poo bear
Alright, we
things.
can guide them from here. I was just worried about their safety.
So,
Okay, well, we have our poo brains now.
So now that everyone's back together, what is the weather like currently?
overcast, but not raining at the moment. And, you know, kind of chilly.
Is there any thunder or lightning about?
Not that you can hear.
So the storm has gone far enough west of us that we can no longer see it.
Okay,
We
so
can start walking to the area of the radiation zone, or we could start walking again.
Yeah, it seems-
before we go to radiation, Moop, want to learn how to use those wings?
All I hear
Okay.
is like a halfway sneeze or a snort.
So I'm like, I don't know how to respond to that.
Are we get there?
The podcast even I needed. I got a gem stuck in my throat now, man. It's kind of hard to talk and breathe.
So, I am going to comment that if you accept the invitation, I am going to request that you wait a little bit till we change the character sheet, which will be after this session.
Mm.
Wait, what is happening?
Moop gaining wings. I'm going to teach her to fly
Aha.
because we've only really got 2 efficient flyers in the party, and Hax, I don't think your flying ability is actually useful.
Hey,
You're
what do you mean
comparing
by
an
that?
X Wonderbolt to
The generic.
Closet Nerd.
To a Pegasus who spends most of his time on the ground. This is literally RD versus Fluttershy here. Who can fly better? Who is more
Shut up,
qualified?
Mitchell.
Shut up. You correct, but shut up.
It's like, you're right.
But shut up.
You're right, but you ain't wrong. So, does the Moop accept
I look at my wings and look at his wings and then back at my wings, and I'm just like, I'm not sure those lessons would work.
The mechanics still remain the same.
I'm going
Yeah, there is a fundamental difference between feathers and
wedding.
whatever the heck I have.
Yeah, but I mean, when I'm flying, I don't move individual feathers. You still have the same sort of muscular control.
Oh god, here comes the animal biology degree.
But no, Petrel's the one with that. But no, birds do actually. I mean, they don't move them individually, but when they are flapping, they do change how they're using the feathers. So, for instance,
Yes.
when they upstroke, they will separate the feathers so the air passes more easily in between
Hacks.
Yes, but hacks. I was correct with my statement. They don't move
Petrol.
individual feathers.
Okay, out of character, side note, in the show, it literally showed that they're not the same
Yeah.
lessons.
them. Yeah, no, I want to direct your attention to the episode where Twilight failed to teach Spike how to fly.
To be fair, also, that is Twilight. That speaks for itself. That speaks for itself.
We
She
don't
tried
need
to
to
hit it
discuss
with a book.
Shoken.
I
don't know what's
Comment.
going
She
on.
has intelligence, not common sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then Smolder was the one who
You were
successfully
getting
taught
quieter
Spike
and
how to fly.
quieter, Argo.
Apologies.
Shut up,
Can you-
buddy! We haven't gotten there!
Can you hear me better?
Yes.
Yes.
Now. I
Because I somehow doubt Twilight has a very good grasp as to exactly how you meant to do it,
Petrol.
rather than
shut
This
up.
is not necessary to touch right now.
Nameless is getting sick of our bullshit.
We are going to leave it up to you on whether or not you accept. But in lieu of that, we are going to continue moving forward, so I don't have to keep telling people to shut up.
Oh, you admit it, you like it.
I have things that I want to do this session that we haven't finished doing yet.
so. Next session it is for flying lessons.
That and she
we're
still
praying.
needs the stat stuff in her sheet.
Yeah.
We should continue on.
Now, Nasa, survival, everybody, perception. You are doing the travel.
I passed by one.
I pass.
Pass.
I pass.
Everyone passes.
I don't pass my perception, but I passed my survival.
Rip.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So, you guys see nothing out of the ordinary. If you would like, Argo, you can roll a perception, or not a perception, a survival check to see if you can figure out how close you are.
Pass by a lot.
So, as far as you can guess, you should be, because you've passed the Kelpie's lake, you should be within a day's travel.
That is good to know.
Before we do that, though, what are my rations like?
Oh, our rations? We have 5 days left.
We should probably go out hunting for something just to make sure we're topped up, because we don't know how long this is going to take us.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
And I somehow don't think it's a great idea to hunt stuff in the irradiated areas.
Probably.
What do you mean? Radroach meat is delicious.
I mean, they kind of... Yeah. So, go ahead and roll for the traps and hunting and all that. Whatever you plan to do.
I'm
Let's see
going
what-
to set up some traps while I also go for some actual stuff otherwise. That way it's like, hey, if the traps fail, then at least I try to track something down. And if I don't track
Oh.
something, at least we have traps.
Yeah, I'll follow behind Nissa.
So I set up traps. I pass traps by 3. And
Okay.
then I'm going to try to track. Do I have any minuses to that or no?
Roll a percentage for me. Okay. And you find tracks of something with hooves, but you don't recognize the shape of it. Go ahead and roll stealth.
Is it even to or odd to? It'd be very clear.
My brain is like completely blanking on what you mean. You mean is it a single hoof or is it split?
A cloven or like a split hoof is an even toe.
That one.
Okay, so it's even toe.
I'm going to follow behind and stealth.
I am stealth by a lot.
So am I.
Okay. So as the two of you come over a bridge, you see a small pool of decently clean looking water, and sitting at it staring into the pool is a creature that you somewhat recognize. Go ahead and roll an intelligence check with a +1.
I pass by a lot. Like, pass by 6.
Do I roll as well because I'm with Nissa?
Yes. If I were only asking Nasa to roll, I would tell you that.
So the pass.
Okay. So the two of you are now looking at a Kieran. It is colors of brain. Colors of blue and purple, and has a red horn and golden eyes. It currently seems to not have noticed you. What do?
Do you think we could get away with trying to pass off this is non-sentient the party?
Argo, what the fuck?
We're not doing that.
We're hungry.
Yes, but we're not.
We're not that hungry.
Even our actual rat doing that.
Argo, what the fuck?
If they were trying to attack us, sure, I'd love to do that, but no, that's too much for even me.
Fine.
We are not eating sentient creatures.
I take a shot well above, scared off.
Just. Damn it, Nissa.
It's fine.
So, you when you take your shot, the Kieran looks up and looks around, and then walks around the edge of the pool to the other side where the cliff face that you guys are sitting on is, and hugs the wall. It does seem confused, but not entirely, like, afraid.
Alright. Is it doing anything, or?
It has returned to sitting and it's staring, but not into the pool. It's just kind of looking out.
This is not gonna go anywhere. Let's just leave.
Just hang on a moment. I need to think about something.
Okay, I'm waiting a moment.
Okay,
Petrol is having to use his brain for once.
Yeah, I am. So they seem completely unarmed, yes?
Yes.
Uh,
No
as far as we can see.
no armor other than the scales on its back.
I'm going to make my presence known without seeming threatening.
It looks at you and waves a hoof.
Hey, if you don't mind me asking, what are you doing all the way out here without any sort of arms or armor?
So, as you get closer, you do recognize it to be female, and she places a hoof to her chin and says, "I'm not sure."
Because I was just wandering out here looking for some food, and I noticed you're all out here, and don't know if you've noticed, but this is a dangerous place to be in.
She shrugs and says, "I haven't had any issues yet."
So I'm just gonna make the comment. This is Petrol starting out this conversation.
It was not one. It's not one of those times. It's not gonna. It shouldn't go horribly wrong. I don't have to do anything. This is purely just me being. This is any role worthy. This is just me doing this.
Petrol is being a decent pony and checking on strange Kieran, who seems alone and unprotected.
Yeah.
Fair.
No, it's not fair. At least not that I'm aware of.
None of this is fair.
No, fair is in the other game.
That's exactly what I mean. Like, as far as I know, none of this involves fair. So anyway, because don't know if you saw that storm earlier, but there was a lot of bad things there, and I nearly died. And if you can't tell, I'm meant to be somewhat kitted out for this. I've got stuff that can help me survive, and you don't. How have you remained safe this entire time?
She looks thoughtfully and then shrugs and says, "I don't remember." Before
You don't
note
remember?
that her eyes give off a soft glow momentarily before she says, "Your friend should step to the right."
Hold on, I'm gonna roll perception.
Wait, what?
I'm going to roll perception real quick to see if I heard
I say that out loud as well.
I passed that. I hear that. I'm going to take the step
And
to the right.
several seconds after you do, the ground around where you were a moment before turns a happy, like, pre-war shade of green. A strange Pegasus appears for several seconds, and you get a tirade of them attempting to say things before it disappears, and all that you really catch is, "Have you seen my friends?" before they vanish again.
How did you know my friend was there?
She shrugs and says, "Sometimes I do. Know things, that is."
If you don't mind me asking, how long have you been here for?
She looks at the pool and says, "I don't remember."
So you don't remember anything? Who you are, what you're doing here?
She says, "I remember a name." She rubs her chin with a hoof and says, "Nebula Flare." And then shrugs and says, "That's about it, though."
So why... What? I'm still confused as to how... What happened with my friend back there? Messiah, could you come out here for a moment?
I don't give a response.
Nessa, she knows you're there. There's no
Whatever.
point trying. There's no
It's
point
not like
trying
we're
to
hunting
hide.
anything right now anyway.
She, what did you say, Argo?
I said it's not like we're hunting anything right now anyway. Everything would have been scared off from the shot.
Yeah. Plus, you've still got traps set up back anyway for any small game.
She looks at Nasa as you said you were coming out, right?
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. She looks at Nasa and says, "If you're looking for food," and she gestures with a hoof as her eyes again start glowing, "you might want to shoot that way."
Whatever the direction she points in, I'm going to take aim for a moment at wherever I think she pointed and then take the shot.
Okay, go ahead and roll your skill.
Wait, 1 sec. One sec, sorry. That is going to be a pass.
Okay, go ahead and roll damage.
Right. I'm just looking real quick. 41. Right. Oh. I misread.
You tried to roll 41s.
Sorry, I misread a thing. That was my bad.
You do need to retype it,
Yeah,
though,
I know.
because, Dice Maiden
I
gets
know.
mad.
Okay, 17 total damage.
Okay, hold on while I do a quick math. Let's see. I need to pull up a calculator. I'm not good at math. Okay. So you fire your shot, and you hear something large hit the ground like a sack of bricks on the
I'm going
other side
to
of the bridge.
run over to the sound.
Bushes. When you get over there, if you remember the large, like, bison-looking thing that you guys ran into at one point, you've killed another one of those.
Oh, how much meat can I get from this?
Depends. You'll have to roll to do that. So your cooking skill would be the closest that you have, if I remember correctly.
That you would use survival, personally.
Actually, there is a butchery skill,
Okay.
Which I do not
which
have.
cooking would have a limited version of that. So,
Do I take any minuses to it?
-2.
-2. I passed by 3.
Okay, so you are able to salvage just under 200 pounds of meat, so we'll say 180.
180. How much of that can I do? Or hold on. Like, about how many days of rations can I reasonably make that?
It depends on how you prepare the meat. If you just make, like, meat steaks, then not as long. But I will say...
Just takes them like 3-4 days
If you were
at
to
most.
try and spread it out, then you could get up to a week's worth of rations out of it.
Okay. Going to probably do that option.
Make a stew with meat in it and don't inform me before I drink.
Of course.
Health check. But yes, so
Alright. Well, I'm going to start working on that to get that ready.
okay. So what does petrol do? I will also note that that was a headshot. Give me just a sec. I'll be right back.
Boom, headshot.
Boom! Headshot.
Alright. So I imagine you're probably still going to be talking to them while I'm skinning this thing. And getting
Yeah.
the meat.
Sorry about that.
Probably mix this into a stew or something.
Just had something arrive, Nameless.
What's that?
I assume you just had something arrive.
Food, yes. It's for after the session now. So, you guys, what do?
Okay, so so you don't really know how you got here, do you? I said to the Kieran.
She shakes her head.
So what have you been eating for food then? Because this is a small little lake in the middle of nowhere.
She points at a nearby bush with a few really sad-looking berries left on it.
I'm going to collect those berries.
Wow.
Dick move.
Are you okay with meat at all, or or are you just purely sick to vegetables and plants?
She shrugs and says, I eat what I can find.
Does that include me? Because we have some now.
Yeah, I mean, if you come with us, we've got more than enough food with us.
She looks at you, and her eyes glow for a minute before she says, I will follow you for now.
We have like 12 days of rations now.
Okay then, well, if you follow us, we can take you back to the rest of us. Because there's a lot more than just us, as you shall see.
She nods.
So I guess we then head back to the group.
Yes.
Okay. And you guys arrive back at the group. What does the group say?
Who's your friend?
Not food.
What is this, the second or third time that somebody has walked up to the group and Argo has gone, yes, we are not eating this one, sadly.
I mean, it was because of the whole thing with Doc.
Also, we that
She
one
was going
bug
to add
was
Doc
food.
to her inventory. That's different.
No, then there was another point where she said, so I guess you're not food then.
Yeah.
And when everyone else walked up, she's like, this is not food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll make the comment. I think this is like the fourth time.
But I will
Yeah.
go ahead and say, what do you mean not food? Well, Nassau, were you going to eat them?
I walk over to Clinker. Well, she was sort of planning on it, but I managed to convince her not to. Thankfully,
Nassau!
I just woke off. I'm not
I
taking
face
it.
huff.
Cue bird noises from Clinker.
I mean, nothing's gonna beat the squeak.
I'm gonna go check my traps.
Okay.
I introduced the group to Chan, our new NPC, Nebula Flare.
I don't. What is NPC?
Petrol, what's an NPC?
Our new friend, I should restate.
There we go.
Also, you don't know that it's an NPC. Could be a DMPC.
Shut up, Fax.
Hi,
But-
my name's Moop.
So whilst they're doing that, I'm gonna fly over to Nissa, back where the traps are.
Okay.
Hi, are you okay?
I'm inclined to follow Vigil because new person and I scared.
How much stuff did I get from the traps?
Okay, let me... So most of the traps are untripped, but there is one that has a rabbit in it.
We can maybe get like 2 meals out of this. Maybe more if we scatter the meat. Either way, it's still going to be useful.
Yeah, so I have followed Vigil flying off because new person I scared.
Nassar, something is clearly wrong. Talk to us. Please.
Nissa, you said that when you needed help you would come to us.
I'm sorry, things are just... I don't know.
We're all here. If you still really don't feel like talking to us, that's up to you, but we are here for you.
I'm going to ask you this question again. Nissa, are you okay?
I don't know. I want to go pick a fight with something, or I don't know. Though I don't know if I could take the hit right now.
Are you upset because of the zebra back in Vancouver?
I'm
Or is
upset
there
because of a whole
something
lot
more?
of things.
Well,
Man, you could just throw a stone into the pond. You could probably hit something that is the wrong. The matter. Whatever. It's not like I speak this stupid fucking language anyway.
Well, Nassar, we can probably help you with your problems if you just let us help.
but you have to tell us what they are first.
Man, you could look at it, almost anything in the past couple of weeks, and you could probably find something that was wrong. What? From nearly dying in that fight, from being straight up hunted by my younger sister, one of them, from being scared about what I could find. I still don't even know what's going on with Kalalu. I'm so worried for her. What if she didn't make it in the cryopod? What if she's old? What if she's undead?
That's
What if Ross so fucked with her? I'd never forgive the bastard. I don't know what's going on.
Nassar, the more you worry about it, the worse it's going to be. Not saying to forget about it or pretend it never happens, but
It's just been yet another of a long list of times that I haven't been able to protect others.
well, even the greatest protectors sometimes need someone else to protect them.
If a protector needs the help of a lesser protector to then protect them, wouldn't that be less efficient and thus probably get them even into more trouble?
Nassar,
Whatever, the logic doesn't
That's-
follow, I don't care.
That's not my point, Nissa. The point I'm trying to make is you don't need to be able to stand entirely on your own in
Why
order
not?
to help those around you. You can rely on those around you to give you support you need.
And why should I take that support? I mean, hell, you're basically a fainting goat.
Well, I'm not much use in combat situations.
Not much use in talking situations either.
But I mm,
So, e- even though you may not realize it immediately, we all need help. No matter how good you are, everyone needs help at some point. Even if it is from the fainting goat over here.
Oh yeah, no, the charmer's trying to help. Hell, another year passed by. How long do you think you're gonna start flirting with me? Sick bastard.
What? That would be wrong.
I see you. You go all around.
Yeah, but that would just be wrong. No.
I mean, hell, another year's gone by. Probably. I don't even know. Feels like it's the summer, but I don't even know. I missed my birthday, and I didn't even know it. What other days have I missed?
So I think that same sentiment goes for all of the non-cryopodders.
Nissa.
The world is in a point where that's no longer of relevance.
The only birthday that matters anymore is the day you're actually born. No one celebrates a yearly birthday in the wasteland.
Oh, and did you celebrate when you got your cutie mark? I think your cultural traditions are a bit different than ours.
I mean, actually, Nameless, would we have?
Nope.
Yeah, no. Not really.
Yeah, the
You know,
crab.
things are, I guess, I mean, things have always been this way as far as I ever knew, but if things used to be different, then that's how they used to be. But life in the wasteland is harsh.
It's just that my mind started growing up. I guess my body finally started trying to catch up with me.
I don't know.
Doesn't even feel like it's been that long. We've been out for what, nearly a year?
That's hard to tell.
Well,
If I remember correctly, it was fall when you guys woke up in the cryopods.
I said nearly.
I want to point out that they wouldn't be able to gauge the time very well, so saying nearly a year is honestly the best that they can get right now.
Fair enough.
All the special holidays we missed. You know, we have cultural traditions too. We're not just some sick savages to you all. We've missed so many things.
No one thinks you're a sick savage, but
And I can tell you sure well that Van Hoover probably did.
holidays just don't happen in the wastelands. Every day is a fight for survival, and just having made it through the day and waking up the next morning is sometimes cause for celebration in its own right.
Yeah, but just imagine, I get uprooted out of this culture. I have been thrown into this other. And now I'm trying to juggle the survival of an entire group while looking for my own system.
Nissa, how do you think I feel? I lived my entire life thinking the world was the way that I saw it, thinking that the world was always this way, that I knew how the world worked and what the world was like. And then I join up with you guys, and my entire world, everything I thought I knew about how the world worked, how the world was, gets flipped on its head. I'm learning that alicorns were a thing. The world used to be a nice place to live in. And how do you think that makes me feel? How do you think it makes me feel that I get born in this time when life sucks to live? When all of you at least got a chance to live a nice life. How do you think I feel about that?
Calling my life nice. Good one.
Nissa, think about Moop. Hasn't she gone through a similar thing?
Yeah. Moop probably has.
And of course, she doesn't exactly feel the greatest either about any of this, especially the whole situation with, well, the slaver incident.
Yeah, I just...
Nassar, you're not alone in this. None of us are. Which is why we need to stick together.
It's just that I've been taking so many straws that it's broke the zebra's back, so to say. I'm just tired of this all. And now I'm going to the death place of my mother. And then after it, I'm going to confront my bastard of a father.
Nassar, we went to we went to Newcastle, okay? Pretty much everyone I ever knew was from there, or my family was Pegasi, was what we were. And I went there and I saw no sign of anything. So I know how that feels. And I've checked, I know there's nothing up there. Nothing that I have found. It might be something if I check, it might be something maybe. But you've at least got some hope. Stick by that. Hugs and a sigh.
I don't know how to handle this right now. I want to fight something.
Take it from me, that's not always the best way. I should know. I kill enough.
The wastelands aren't easy on any creature. And a lot of the time, it's hard to take. But those who grew up in the wasteland, those who have lived here, know that you just have to take every day, day by day. Every day brings some new thing that could kill you so easily. And, well, we're still here. So, by the metric of the wasteland, we're doing pretty good.
It makes me wonder, why is the wasteland keeping me here still? It's tried to kill me so many times. Why am I just here to suffer?
Because, for once, I think we might actually have a chance to do something. We're putting together information that I don't think any creature in the wastelands has ever put together before. So, if there's something that could be done to put things right, we seem to be the ones that would be on track to do it. At least that's what I've kept thinking. So, maybe there is a hope there to hold on to.
There might be a hope for y'all. I just pray to the spirits that got loose, alright? I pray that I could keep Synax and Muboke too. I don't want them to turn into those things. Those hunters coming after me. I don't want them to turn into beasts or other things. I don't want them to turn into monsters. And every nightmare eats at me, telling me that I might be next on their list, or that they're gonna grow up past me, and I'm just going to be some meat. There's something.
As long as the rest of us, and especially you, are here, that will not happen.
I don't want them to become monsters. I'm scared I might become one. I don't know anymore.
I mean, Nissa, I've lived in a tribe here my entire life, and yeah, you lose the occasional tribesman, but I mean, on the whole, most of them seem to live for a fairly, what I would consider reasonable time. I mean, I don't know, maybe we don't live anywhere near as long as ponies used to live, but, it's not like you just wake up one morning and everyone you know has been turned into a monster most of the time. That's happened a couple times, but not usually. Don't don't be frightened by technicalities that have happened once or twice.
I know the swamp gives, I know the swamp takes. It's part of the transaction. It's why I've been trying to reach out to the spirits. It's because I'm scared. I don't know what's going to happen. And I feel like if I just reach out, maybe I can get some answers.
Nissa, I've lived my entire life scared. But answers are hard to come by sometimes. But we seem to be
That's why we have
finding
a search.
we seem to be finding a hell of a lot more of them than I ever did. 17 years I lived with my tribe, and I've learned more about the world in the past however many months I've been with you guys than ever did before that. What I'm saying is, the answers are out there, but it's up to us to go and find them. But we're not gonna do that if we get afraid and give up.
My fear's not pushing me to giving up. My fear's pushing me to something else.
Look, Nissa. 17 years I lived with my tribe, just thinking the world was this unending wasteland that did nothing but take, and you would live a life that sucked until you died. But when I met you guys, I've seen a hope I didn't think was possible. I've seen something I didn't know was there. I felt things I didn't know I could feel. There's a chance that we can make a difference. Make the world better than it is now. Maybe the same that it once was. And isn't that something that's worth trying to hold on to?
Guess I don't know. I'm just tired. I want to be with Moop and Sun next. I want to find Kalulu.
So,
I'm gonna go rest.
As your conversation starts to come to a close, and Nasa says she's going to leave for a rest, you hear the sound of someone lightly clearing their throat.
Who was that?
So, do you look to see the direction it's coming from?
Yes. Do I have to roll perception?
No.
Okay.
Does Nasa also do the attention paying?
I give a glance over.
So, as you look, your new tag-along is sitting not far from where you guys had been having your conversation, because, you have private conversation in public area. People will have a tendency to listen to it. And for the most part, she looks basically the same as she did when you first picked her up, except the gentle glow is now a fairly brilliant glow coming from her eyes. And she says, "If it's any consolation, when I look for your sister, I do not see a monster."
Thank you. Sorry that I wanted to shoot you and cook you. To be fair, I was going to pass you up as non-sentient so the others wouldn't feel bad.
I give kind of a shocked look at Nasa, and then turn back to the Kieran.
She nods and just kind of sits there.
So, how long were you sitting there for?
I didn't know if Clinker knew about that one.
She shrugs and says, "Long enough."
Ah.
For Paige, if you were at a point where you could see what was going on with her, you are welcome to roll thermology to see if you can figure out what might be going on.
Aren't we still at Nasa's trap?
it doesn't mean that concerned party members didn't follow.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
fair enough.
That
going
is
to
a
step on
pass
my bone
by
mask.
7.
So, you're not entirely certain, but it is possible that the Kieran that you are looking at is a natural clairvoyant, giving her the ability to see things like the future. Whether she actually knows it or not is questionable, or
I'm
how
assuming
the
she
full
doesn't.
scope of it is. But it is possible that you may be looking at a clairvoyant that would be strange for something in the wastelands.
Strange for something in the
rolled,
wastelands,
spirit
and
lore.
specifically a non-unicorn.
So
Nameless, I rolled spirit lore.
for Nasa, you've heard of zebras capable of seeing the future. They always call it like talking to the spirits and things like that, all kinds of fancy terms, but they
Yeah,
do seem
It's
to
usually
have
talking to star spirits, but yeah.
they do seem to have one common denominator that always seems to be mentioned, is that there's, when they are actually speaking with them, their eyes glow. So it's reasonable to assume, at the very least, that whatever the Kieran has seen is probably accurate, as long as nothing changes drastically. There have been situations, though, where they have been wrong, but it's a, 70 to 30% chance, comparably. So 70 that they're right, 30 that they're wrong.
I approached the Kieran. I really appreciate the information about my sister Kalu.
She nods and says, I felt like you could use it.
I've just been worried sick about her.
She pats you on the head with a hoof, and her eyes stop glowing and she promptly passes out on her face.
Ah.
Yeah, that takes energy. I'm sure you will know how to handle it. I need to go take my rest.
Prepare.
Okay.
As I make it back to camp, I'm going to try to get Moop's attention.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, I'm gonna take a rest, but by any chance, can you rest with me?
Sure.
I just need a familiar face with me.
I have no problems with that.
I appreciate it. I also try to keep my face away so it's not obvious that I was crying or anything.
So
You realize that is like a dead obvious way to show that you were crying. But like before, I would not say anything out loud because I understand emotions and stuff. So we good.
So before we continue on, do you guys want to continue on, or do you feel like this is a good pin place?
I think it's a good pin place.
Seems like a good
I,
pin.
Yeah.
I was kind of thinking the same. I had some more stuff planned, but this is a much better pin place, especially since there's a lot going to happen in the next one. So it just gives me more time to spread it out.
Oh boy.
Alright,
So,
thank you all.
for all of you that may or may not still be watching, if you would like to join us for the next one, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so that you can stay up to date. Because tomorrow we will be hopefully defeating a beholder with the Peacemaker's crew, and then Lost Memories will pick up again on Saturday about the same time. For those
I'll
of you
just make
that want to try and help
tomorrow's-
support the channel, then you can go ahead and check out the link in the description for my Patreon. And a huge thank you to the ones that already have, especially my priest tier, which would be Gilded Page, Haxorus, Elisander, and Princess Starglow. I think that's everybody.
Yep.
Other than that, everybody have a great evening, and drink water. We will see you next time.
See you guys.
So yeah.
Have a good one. Maybe you hear me cry again. Who knows?